Jalen Brunson.
Is that what it sounded like?
Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson.
So,
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, this is the problem. It doesn't stop. He won't stop. Like, he's just not going to stop. Like 1 or 2 or 3 times, fine. Yeah.
all right, so
Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson.
on today's part of my take, we have our good friend Kirk Goldsberry on to talk NBA. Incredible last 2 days of NBA action in the playoffs. We're going to talk some playoff hockey. We also have a very special guest, Jerry O'Connell, who surprises Hank during the Celtics Knicks talk. And we recap Bet Gala and the day with Jerry O'Connell. We're going to do Hot Seat, Cool Throne. We're going to do FAQs. Also, bonus talking soccer. Great show. We're going to start via Zoom, but then we're back in studio for Knicks, Celtics, and Thunder Nuggets and the rest of the show. And it's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The NBA 82-game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for all the high-stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. From the play-in game all the way through to the finals, now's the time to back your favorite players and teams as they chase glory all season long. DraftKings has been the go-to spot for NBA player props, and that doesn't stop now. Want to make your playoff experience even more intense? Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? It's your call. Ready to place your first bet? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Lock in your bets, and let's make this playoff run unforgettable. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Wednesday, May 7th, and Tyrese Big Balls Haliburton. What a fucking comeback by the Indiana Pacers. They're up 2-0 on the Cavs. PFT. The last 2 days of it's May Madness. I feel bad for John Rothstein because he's been sleeping this entire month. It's been insane, and we thought we couldn't top it from Monday night, which we're going to get to when we're back in studio. And then tonight happens where the Pacers are down 20, 6 minutes into the third quarter. They're down 7 under a minute. That's the second time in 3 games they've come back down 7 in under a minute to win a game. Insane.
And not only that, but it's the second time that Haliburton's done it in the final 2 seconds of a postseason game. So that means I was reading about this earlier. It said that LeBron James is the only other player since 1997-98. That's when they started keeping track of play-by-play that has multiple go-ahead field goals in the final 2 seconds in a single postseason. Pretty insane. Absolutely nuts ending. In terms of boxing out on free throws, I feel like that's one thing that the Cavs need to work on a little bit. One of them, I'll give you one of them with D. Smith when he came in with that dunk.
Awesome.
It was an awesome dunk. He was definitely like inside the 3-point arc, but who cares? That happens on every shot. You got to learn how to box out.
Yeah. I mean, listen, a Tony Brothers ref game, you can't expect anything to make sense whatsoever. I know people were complaining about that, Cavs fans. Listen, the Cavs should have won that game, and the Pacers prove again that you have to beat them for all 48 minutes. I honestly think with the way they play pace-wise, with the way Rick Carlisle basically plays every single guy on their team, he'll just be like, Ben Shepherd, at your time, you get a few minutes here. Like That doesn't happen in the playoffs. You don't play. Let me look up how many guys played for the Pacers tonight. You don't play the amount of guys that he plays. He played 11 guys tonight. That's pretty crazy for an NBA playoff game. And so the Pacers, with the pace they play, the conditioning they have, I really think that it's like they are built for this type of situation where it's like you've seen it 2 times in the last 3 games where they're just going to keep going at you and they're not going to give up. And Kenny Atkinson even admitted it. He was like, we ran out of gas, which I don't understand that either because the Cavs didn't have a guy over 40 minutes, but it's all credit to the Pacers. I know that the Cavs fans can say, oh, we missed this call, that call. The Pacers are just they have alligator blood. They do not die, and they have a belief in Tyrese Haliburton. He even said after, he's like, "There's no way I was passing that up." He's step back 3 to win the game, silence the crowd. What a stud!
And you poked the bear to start the game. That was the dumbest move that the Cavs fans could have done, is to chant overrated at Haliburton before it got started. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? He already knows that his fellow players talk about him being overrated. You don't have to remind him of it. That's going to piss him off a little bit. So dumb move by Cavs fans. But when you say that they ran out of gas, I think they're just talking about Donovan Mitchell. I think
Donovan the whole team ran out of gas. Yeah,
Well, Donovan Mitchell was the whole team. He scored 48 points, and then at the end, it was like every time he got banged around a little bit, he would take an extra 30 seconds on the ground because he's fucking tired, man. He scored 48 points.
Yeah, he was great. And we should mention, obviously, the Cavs were very banged up. Evan Mobley didn't play. DeAndre Hunter didn't play. Darius Garland didn't play. Those are 3 significant pieces to the Cavs. And they needed Donovan Mitchell to just be, 48 points. Was it 48 points did he finish with?
48.
Yeah, I mean, they needed every single bit of that and more. But again, I think it's more about the Pacers, they just never quit. And Rick Carlisle is a very underrated coach. And this Pacers team is fun. And I don't know if the Cavs don't get healthy, they're in serious trouble. And again, it's similar to Monday night where it's like, I thought the Cavs would win this game because you have the pressure of going down potentially 0-2 as a home team, as a 1 seed. And for, I don't know, the first 30 minutes of this game, it looked like that was going to be the case where it's like the Pacers are happy to have their 1 win on the road. They're down 20. And then just shit started happening. Cavs couldn't get the ball in bounds. The Pacers pressing them just flustered them so much. And Tyrese Haliburton, big balls. I love the big balls dances back. That was awesome.
The big balls, the major league. It's awesome. It's really good. I'm glad that he did it. I hope he gets fined, and I hope he's like, that's fine. You know what? I'm going to keep doing it. I also like when players do that. The old John Morant.
Better than
you're
guns,
not going to stop me. Yeah, it is. Well, yeah. What's more dangerous, your balls or your guns?
I mean, Tyrese Haliburton's ball has the most dangerous balls in the game right now.
Yeah, don't point. It's loaded. Don't point that thing at anybody. It was, it was a crazy. There's no such thing as a lead in the NBA.
No, not in these playoffs. It's been insane to watch how crazy it is. And we're going to talk more about this series. And actually, credit to Kirk Goldsberry when we talked to him because he had a good Tyrese Haliburton take that looks even better, and we taped it in the afternoon. So it's always fun when that works out because you don't want to have the knee-jerk reaction of one game change your take, which we do all the time.
I like that, though, May Madness. I feel like that could catch on. The NB May. Yeah. No, May Madness is better.
May Madness, and again, we should call John Rossi and be like, dude, I imagine he's hibernating right now, and then anytime there's, if there's a war breaking out in Europe or the Middle East, or if there's celebrity death, he's going to be like, Tulane has a non-conference game against Chattanooga. Mark your calendars, December 2nd.
Today, he was all over the fact that St. John's in Kentucky is going to be the highest-rated non-conference basketball of the entire season.
Whoa.
Calling it a shot right now.
Whoa. Hank, do you take the Pacers for real?
Pacers are good. That was a scrappy win. They were scrappy last year in the Eastern Conference Finals.
You're so dismissive with
scrappy.
But
they're a year, it does feel.
Hank, admit it. It was a little patronizing.
No.
Scrappy.
I'm giving them credit.
But
scrappy is a compliment. But scrappy is a good quality to have.
Here's the thing.
They scrapped their way back.
They went through the wars last year, and they got a little bit of scars, And now it does feel like they're a different team making these big time plays and never being out of it. And kind of like, because remember it was Eastern Conference Finals, right? That you played them. They look like they look like the team in that Eastern Conference Finals that what the Pacers are making everyone look like, where they make mistakes down at the end of the game. The Pacers are forcing other teams to make mistakes. They're making these crazy errors, games that they could win. The Pacers are stealing from them. So I feel like they're definitely a better version. And that Nesmith dunk, that like took the soul of the Cavs.
It was crazy. And then they just forgot how to play after that.
So, not playing.
Listen, I agree. Ty Jerome. Yeah, Ty Jerome nice guy. He shouldn't be playing as many. I mean, I think he went 1 for 15, and he was the one who was guarding Tyrese Haliburton at the end of the game. Was that? Let me look up. I don't want to slander.
I think
1
it
for
was
14. Sorry, my apologies. He went 1 for 14. It's a bad deal when you have Ty Jerome taking 14 shots in a playoff game.
Yeah, and just they forgot how to bring the ball up the court without committing offensive fouls. They forgot how to throw a normal inbounds pass without it getting picked off. It was just a comedy of errors in the last minute. It was crazy.
But I just love that feel of a team. Like the Pacers now have that feel where it doesn't matter. These moments are not too big for them, where maybe last year they were, and this year just it doesn't matter what the lead is. I mean, two out of the last 3 games in a playoff setting to come back down 7 in under a minute is insane. That's an absolutely insane thing to be able to pull off. And I think it starts with Tyrese Haliburton just being like, I'm that guy. He's got that irrational confidence going.
I think it might be rational now, though.
Yeah, it could be rational. Could be fully rational. But you kind of want it to be irrational.
Yeah, I'd like him to get a little bit crazier.
Yeah.
But I'm looking up the stats right now. With teams that have a 2-0 lead, I believe this is teams with a 2-0 lead as the away team.
Mm-hmm.
They win the series. I'm seeing 92.7% of the time. Are we ready to call it?
No, I want to see if the Cavs get healthy. Like if they get their guys back, I still think the Cavs are a good team. So I'm not going to fully call it. But Pacers are a fun watch. They're a very fun watch, and they're scrappy as fuck. And Tyrese happened there you go, Hank. Scrappy as fuck. And Tyrese Haliburton is that guy.
But the way you say it is way different from the way Hank said it.
Well, I was saying it to mock Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean scrappy. They're scrappy.
You're like patting them on the head.
Yeah.
Like that. They're adorable.
Yeah, they're scrappy.
Fun little story.
That was a scrappy win. I was watching that game being like, damn. I'm not dissing them at all.
Yeah.
It was a good win. It was a game they should have lost. He is scrappy.
David Eckstein, scrappy.
Very
Alex
scrappy.
Caruso, scrappy.
Gritty.
No, he's gritty. There's
Gritty.
a big that's scrappy is like the teenage
Spencer on the Warriors.
teenage boy version of gritty. Gritty, you grow up to a man. You become grit. A scrappy boy can become a gritty man, but it's not necessarily going to happen.
Yeah, scrappy is like you do some small things okay, but there's a reason why you're not using a nicer word for it. Gritty is like you respect gritty.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, scrappy is a patronizing word.
You were being a little
Oh, you're a little
patronizing. Yeah.
scrappy. You're a little scrappy guy, huh? You're a little scrappy. You're going to do your little thing where you come back.
Yeah, it's a cute little win. They did it twice. That's awesome. Good for you.
It was, yeah, good for them.
Yeah, scrappy is basically like a 20-pound dog at your heels. That's scrappy. But a championship team is a full-grown 125
They're
pound
not
husky.
a championship team. Like they're a fun little story. Like
Scrappy.
Pacer Dan, you gets to get hyped up on them for a couple more games.
I enjoy watching them play. I don't know what you want me to say. I love
fun.
ball. I love ball. All right, the other game. Speaking of bad takes, this would be funny if the Pacers won because if they won it all, Hank, that would be an all-time clip. But I had a clip which I copped to when we're back in studio talking about the Nuggets Thunder. I had the Warriors' as a scheduled loss again, and guess what? The Warriors did not lose, and they did lose Steph Curry. I'm a moron, but the Warriors, I don't know. I don't know what Steph Curry's injury status is going to be. I feel like he's going to be out for a game or two, especially now that they stole this game. But the Warriors did not look like the team that played a Game 7 two days ago. They looked like the rested team. They were running everywhere, so much more energy, and God damn it, the Timberwolves could not hit a shot. That was atrocious to watch.
It was a lot of that. It was partly Buddy Hield like he kicked in big time. Steph Curry didn't. They didn't even really miss him after he left. There was a small comeback in the fourth quarter that made it, I think, within 9 at one point.
Yeah.
But even without Steph Curry, they just kind of kept their foot on the gas and held them off. But yeah, tough break for the Timberwolves. I think Anthony Edwards didn't hit a jump shot until like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Stan Van Gundy kept reminding America about that.
He was 0 for 8 in the first half.
They couldn't shoot a 3-pointer to save their life. It was crazy. They got a standing ovation when Naz Reid hit a 3-pointer in the third quarter because thank God, okay, we're not going to go over for the entire game. But yeah, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. The old team that's banged up, the Warriors, they somehow looked like they had more energy than the younger team, the Timberwolves, who had all the rest in the world. It was very, very strange, and I didn't see it coming either.
No, and the Steph Curry thing, I hope he's okay because I want to see him play in this series. What do you think? I think the first 5 games are every other day, so it does feel like they might sit him. I feel like he's guaranteed to sit on Thursday.
As a 40-year-old who's dealing with his own hamstring injury right now from softball, I'll just say I took a week off in between softball games, and I came back and instantly tweaked it again when I started to run.
So you got to be careful.
I think Steph shouldn't play softball for the next week.
Yeah. Or at least if he does, just make sure someone else is running for you.
Yeah,
pinch runner. Yeah,
sure.
Pinch runner. Yeah, I hope he play. I feel like they're going to sit him, though, probably game 2 and 3, and then be like load up the clip for game 4, because that's crazy that they stole this game. Like that was imagine the mood for the Warriors right now if they lost this game and Steph was out. You'd feel like this series was completely over. But I don't know. Timberwolves can't hit a shot. This is a couple games in a row now. Like remember the closeout game against the Lakers? They were just as bad from 3. They shot 17% from 3 tonight.
There's absolutely nothing about this game that makes any sense at all. The Warriors, they're so much smaller than the Timberwolves are. And it felt like the Timberwolves could just big body him if they wanted to, and they didn't. They kept trying to shoot from the outside. And I guess it's just, live by the jump shot, die by the jump shot. They're probably not going to be as bad in game 2 as they are in game 1. And so I have to imagine that Minnesota comes out game 2 and beats the Warriors by a good amount.
Actually, I would think so. I would think so. But then you thought the Cavs were going to do the same. Nothing makes sense right now.
I did think that.
I misspoke. They shot significantly better from 3 tonight than they did against the Lakers in the closeout game. They shot 17% tonight. In the Lakers closeout game, they shot 14%. So that's a problem. It's a make or miss league, PFT.
That's true. People forget that. And I think that if you just take the 3 quarters of this game, I want to say that was more like 10% from 3 until the very, very end of the game.
Yeah.
It was ugly.
Very ugly. Very ugly. And if the Warriors, I don't even want to what if Steph comes back and the Warriors win another title, is where
that's what I'm saying. Like that was when we did the list of guys and the narrative guys. I think that Steph would definitely be in the conversation for top 3 of all time.
Yeah. Especially if he was like incredible in the finals. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but that's what we like to do. We watch ball, then we come on Zoom, then we get ahead of ourselves, then we do a Zoom 2 days later, and we say, hey, remember that thing I said? That was stupid.
If Steph Curry wins NBA Finals MVP, by the way, with a torn hamstring, he has a torn hamstring. I think
and a broken thumb.
You got to put him ahead of LeBron.
I'd agree.
MJ still number. Do you think MJ is watching this series in the crowd like Donna Kelsey with a split jersey for Butler and Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, he's got to be.
Yeah,
he's got to be. Jimmy, that was when you knew there was the Warriors' night, when the Wolves were making a little run, and then Jimmy Butler did the foul bait 3 where he just threw it up and it went in off the backboard.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, this is not this. The Warriors are winning this game no matter what. It just felt like that. All right, let's talk some hockey. And we're going to talk more basketball with Kirk Goldsberry, and we obviously have the recap of the Bet Gala and Knicks, Celtics, and Thunder Nuggets. PFT, not the best experience, I would assume, tonight?
Bad game. We had no juice. I don't know if you watched any of the game. We were juiceless. No energy out there. There was some issues from the back end. We couldn't possess the puck. Every time, here's the thing about the Hurricanes is they take a million shots.
Mhm.
That's kind of their MO. They will shoot as many times as they can, which isn't the worst strategy in playoff hockey. But the downside to that is sometimes if you take a lot of low percentage shots, then you let a goalie get hot, and then it becomes one of these things where you just can't win because the goalie's so confident and he's seeing everything. And that, to a certain extent, happened tonight. Logan Thompson had a great game for the Caps, but every miss that they'd have, we would get the puck and then we would turn it over in the neutral zone. We wouldn't be able to get it into their third. And if you look at the stats in terms of like where the puck was for most of the game, I think it was in the Hurricanes attacking end, something like 20 minutes of the game. I think the Capitals, it was only down there like 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
There was no energy, no juice. Tom Wilson had the lone highlight of the game. Actually, I'd say the Caps had two highlights today. One, Ovi hit a one-timer, and Wilson was standing directly in front of the goal, and it hit him right in his stick and just broke his stick in two. That was cool. That was fun to look at.
That was very cool.
The other highlight was Tom Wilson took another man's mouthpiece out of his mouth.
I love that.
And then gave it back to him and said, here you go.
And it's so different when Tom Wilson does it versus some when it's like a pest doing it. You can't – what are you supposed to say to Tom Wilson? Just kick your ass.
You just look down. It's like when I take a toy out of Blake's mouth because I'm the owner and he's the dog. He just kind of looks down at the ground. He's like, oh, he got me again. And then I give it back to him because I'm a good guy. But there was nothing redeemable about this game outside of Logan Thompson.
All-time sports sound is the road playoff hockey overtime winner where it's not like a clean goal. Where it's like, there's a bunch of people in front of the net. I don't think it got tipped, but still it was one of those goals where you kind of see it, but you don't really see it. And then all of a sudden the Hurricanes are just celebrating, and the air coming out of a building on one of those moments, because the finality of it is just like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Turn it back on.
Yeah, you keep waiting for a replay. You're like, maybe he hit the goalie. Maybe it's interference. And then you see the guys on the bench always know. So Ovi was like the first guy out of there. He's like, that's game over. I can get in the tunnel and start having my vodka and chicken parm now. And it was bad. I don't want to call out the DC crowd, but I feel like I got to say something.
Mm-hmm.
There was no juice in the crowd.
Need more
either.
Juice.
No juice in the crowd. Where's all the juice in DC right now? I have no idea.
Game 2, must win or can't lose.
I said tonight was a must win.
Oh, no.
But I'm doing must win again, back to back. Never been done.
Have you thought about switching it up to a can't lose?
No, it's a must win. This one's a must win for sure.
Okay.
But it was the only person in the crowd that did have juice tonight was Stanford Steve.
Yeah.
I got to credit him.
I'm chugging that.
Yeah. They put Stanford Steve and SVP on the Jumbotron. And then, of course, SVP, he's class act, classy guy, very demure. He just sat there and he looked at Steve. He's like, okay, here you go, Steve.
Yeah.
You're my resident. You're my designated beer chugger. Good job by Stanford Steve. We needed 7 more beer chugs from Steve to get any juice tonight.
Oh, and he could do it. Listen,
yeah,
I've been out with Steve a bunch. You have 2 PFT. You have 2 Hank. I've seen just in the most casual. I remember I went to a Cubs game with him 8 years ago, and we were sitting at a bar. He asked how early we could get to a bar.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. And my buddy was like, yeah, we can open a little earlier. We'll get in there. And then he's like, can I bring my bags? Like, yeah, no problem. I'll get them. I know the owner. He'll put them behind. Steve had 4 beers before I finished my first. And it wasn't like he was chugging. He was just drinking regularly. He just has a hollow leg. So that's a man.
It's like that scene.
Steve's not scrappy. Would you ever call Steve scrappy, Hank?
Fuck no.
No, fuck no.
Exactly. So there you go.
Your ass, yeah. It was like that scene in The Wire where they're at the bar and they're just cracking eggs into their beer and chugging it. That's what Steve. In fact, I don't even think Steve knew he was on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
I think he was just slamming a beer.
They just caught him in the if you just have a camera on him every 10 minutes, you'll get that. I'm starting to think it might be the Leafs year. It might be Canada's year because we also had the Oilers win tonight, game 1 against the Knights. And we have, so the Oilers are up 1-0, the Leafs are up 1-0, and the Jets are still there. It might be Canada's year. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but that Leafs game was electric. And I thought going into the game, I was like, man, the Panthers are going to be way better than the Leafs. We've seen this before. Leafs fans getting really cocky. It's obviously only one game, but winning game 1 is massive.
So there's some bad blood too. Some very bad blood in the Panthers-Leafs series already. Paul Maurice was saying that it was an intentional, filthy, dirty kick to the back of the leg. He could have ended the man's career. He was talking about Matthew Tkachuk. So they're pissed off. I don't think that there's going to be any sussies though. I think
and Marshawn and the Leafs, like the Leafs fans fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like the bad blood. I feel like the Panthers just bring bad blood everywhere they go, which is fun.
That's Florida. A lot of hepatitis.
Yeah. So very fun. Yeah, the Oilers. I mean, that was a great game by the Oilers. They scored 3 goals in the third to beat the Knights soundly. Maybe could be the year for. We should talk about this plan real quick. If the Oilers did win, we just can't have Whitney on again.
Well, it depends. Now, he would have to win MVP.
He'd have to win MVP, otherwise we would just debate him to death on who's the best player.
It would be Jason Tatum all over again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got a lot of rounds to go. I'm actually rooting for the Oilers. I do love watching Connor McDavid. I hope no one tells Whitney this, but like we have fun with him, but he's so much fun to watch.
He is really good. The one thing that we can't have is an all Canada Stanley Cup. Can't have that.
Why?
Can't have that.
I like that.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
me too.
I want that.
Would they play both national anthems before the game,
I don't think so.
or just "O Canada"?
I think it's just "O Canada."
We can't have that. We gotta. You know what? I don't even count that as Canada winning a Stanley Cup if it's 2 Canadian teams playing against each other. To be the man, you got to beat the man, right?
I would prefer 2 Canadian teams than 1 Canadian team, because it's like, if it's been so long since they've gotten a cup, and to have one of the stakes for both Canadian teams be like, can we be the first team, and the other teams can be just forgotten in history? Oh man, would that be awesome?
Need it.
See, I think if it's Leafs Oilers, which actually would be great just to watch Whit and Biz go at each other, that would be fun.
It would be incredible.
We could also call it Mickey Mouse, no matter who won. It's like, well, you just beat another Canadian team, and they haven't won in 40 years.
Easy mode. Also, memes. Congratulations, the Islanders won the lottery. Still don't understand how the lottery worked. It felt like they made that way more complicated than it had to be.
I still don't know how it works either. I didn't even know it was happening. I just looked at Twitter. I saw a Chiefs tweet that just said, "What is going on?" followed by an Islanders tweet of the eyeball emoji. And then all of a sudden I just saw Islanders got the first pick. And I was like, this is the greatest thing to ever happen.
Because you guys had the 10th best odds to get it.
10th best odds, 3% chance of getting it.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now we have people just arguing over who we're going to pick, where it's just like, it doesn't matter. You're going to get somebody good.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's sick, and you're going to get someone good who then will probably end up going to the Leafs in free agency.
That's a good point.
A lot of people were saying that.
Oh,
Check the kid's Instagram. There's also a Long Island kid.
yeah, make sure he doesn't have any. The Leafs, betting that he was in when he was 7 years old. You got to make sure. That doesn't happen again.
Yeah, scour the internet. There's also a Hop Hog kid who is a Long Island fan, an Islanders fan. That could be the.
He's from Long Island.
From Long Island, Islander fan. Hagens. He plays for Boston College Center.
And is he worthy of the number 1 pick?
A lot of people saying it's a reach, but you could trade down, get more picks.
I love that. You get the first overall pick, and you're like, yeah, but he's from the neighborhood, so
he's not going to hurt us.
Yeah, just draft him until he'll never leave.
Yeah. That lottery made no sense. I watched it back and I was just like, what? It was like 2 numbers, and then just fucking tell us, just reveal it.
Biz was saying that there's like 3 guys that are standing out at the top of this draft.
Okay.
So, and I think the Blackhawks picked 3rd. Yeah.
Did we fall to 4th? I think we could have fallen to 4th.
I have it in front of me.
I think we're 3rd.
Utah also jumped up. They're 4.
Yeah, we're 3, because I know the Blackhawks had the second best chance to get the number 1 pick. So they got kind of screwed there. But whatever, 3. Blackhawks are going to be good in another couple of years. That's what
I think so.
Keeps telling me. So I mean, I don't know how to I don't know how to get off of auto renew on my season tickets. So those are generational. My kids are going to have them. Their kids are going to have them. That's something it's out of my hands. I like the season. We get to late March and I just get an email that says thank you for your first installment for your Blackhawks tickets renewal.
You think that's bad? My grandkids are going to have Indianapolis Colts season tickets because I can't figure out how to unsubscribe from that. So this is going to be 3 seasons in a row.
Yeah. I made the smart choice with those doing the game by game.
Yep.
When we did it, because I knew I was going to get stuck in an auto renew again.
And that's where I'm at. But I get a nice gift from Mr. Ursay once a year, so that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else before we kick it to ourselves and we have special guest Jerry O'Connell and then Kirk Goldsberry? Let's hop back in the studio. Okay, before we get to Monday night's action in the NBA, which was incredible, you can see it in front of us. The new Mountain Dew cans are out. PFT, it is summertime. It is. What's your favorite part about summer? Mine, baseball, outside.
Mine's probably drinking Mountain Dew with the boys.
I love that. Golf season, Hank?
Yep.
Golf,
Beach.
getting it ready in golf season. Maybe going to the beach.
Boating.
A river or a lake.
Yeah, my favorite personally is vacation.
Vacation? Well, guess what? Nothing goes better with baseball, boating, golf, beach, and hanging with your friends than the refreshing citrusy kick of Mountain Dew. And look at these new cans. They went old school, baby. They went throwbacks. They are awesome. This is like nostalgia in a can.
It's a nice little vintage logo here. I like it. I even like the Diet Mountain Dew logo.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go outside.
They knocked it out of the park with the new Mountain Dew, old Mountain Dew, but new Mountain Dew cans. We love Mountain Dew. There's nothing like the citrusy kick of Mountain Dew in the summertime when the sun's shining down. Ice cold Mountain Dew with the new can. Again, nostalgia in a can. Go check these out. Just the can alone. I don't even want to crack mine because then the can. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save the can.
You save this.
I'm gonna make a graveyard of cans.
Get it graded.
Yes, I will get it graded. So grab a Dew in the new packaging and enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Thank you to Mountain Dew, our wonderful sponsor. Okay, Monday night was an incredible night of basketball.
I think it might have been the best night of basketball in the last couple of years.
It was insane. We had 2 road teams, big underdogs, come back in very dramatic fashion, and we'll start, Hank, with your Celtics. 45 missed threes. Jalen Brunson was insane down the stretch. There was a stretch there where it was 75-55. The Celtics were up by 20 with 5:34 left in the third quarter, and they were on cruise control. I think you thought the same thing. I thought the same thing watching the game. I was like,
I said it was over at halftime.
this is it. This is going to be a 4-game series. The Celtics are just so much better than the Knicks. And then in the next, whatever it is, I think I can't do my math real quick. It's like 14 minutes a game. So it's 5:34 in the third to 3:28 in the fourth. The Knicks went on a 42-16 run, 14 minutes of gameplay, and Jalen Brunson outscored the Celtics 18-6. OG Anunoby was unbelievable as well. This was a game I was shocked. I was like, the Celtics are going to win this game so easily, and then it just all flipped. And Jalen Brunson, I know there'll be Knicks fans being like, didn't you trash him? I don't like the Jalen Brunson foul baiter. I did say in that statement when we talked about it 2 weeks ago that I think he's a phenomenal player and very fun to watch when he's not foul baiting. And this was phenomenal Jalen Brunson. I have a stat for you, PFT. You ready for this?
Sure.
The NBA put this out. There's only been 3 players to score 75-plus fourth quarter points through their first 7 games of a postseason run in the play-by-play era. Can anyone name the other 2?
The first how many games?
First 7 games of a postseason run. There's only 3 players to score 75-plus fourth quarter points.
Kawhi.
Nope.
I'm going to go with Allen Iverson.
Nope. It is Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, ever heard of him, in 2023. Kobe Bryant, ever heard of him.
Oh, first 7 games.
First 7 games of the postseason.
Of a postseason.
He's scored 75-plus. He's in the sentence with Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant. It's insane. Now, Hank, you had to watch this game with Jerry O'Connell.
Yep.
I think you said afterwards that it was the worst experience of your life.
Oh, that's what it is.
What?
I've been complaining. We're recording this in the morning, and I've been complaining about how I can't hear out of my left ear. My ear hasn't popped.
It was Jerry?
Jerry was screaming.
I don't know if he was screaming, Hank.
No, he was, because I was coming
saw
up
a
to people
couple
and telling
clips.
them, like, hey, I can't fucking hear out of my left ear. I had to start covering up my ear.
Did
because
Jerry-
he was
What did it sound like?
screaming.
What was he saying?
Let's go Knicks! Let's go Knicks! Jalen Brunson, but like, not, Jalen Brunson one time, Jalen Brunson 2 times. When he would do a Jalen Brunson, he did it for 30 straight times in a row.
Yeah, but I also saw
Like,
a lot
Jalen
of
Brunson would
I also
score, and he
saw-
would just sing Jalen Brunson until the commercial break.
I also saw a lot of Jerry whispering in your ear.
Yeah.
I saw him whispering, "Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong." So it's not like you gotta make up your mind. You
No,
want him to
that's what it
whisper
is.
or not
Jerry,
whisper?
I actually think I have ear damage. I'm actually
You
now
think Jerry
concerned.
did ear damage to you?
Yeah.
Jerry's in your head.
He's firmly in your head.
Yeah.
And what would, because I was all over the place. I live streamed you for the overtime, but I wasn't sitting with you guys for the majority of the second half. He was just screaming "Bing bong" over and over.
There was a little bit of that.
Not even bing bong. It was the defense and then just whatever player was
He's
scoring.
a passionate fan.
Yeah, Jerry had an all-time
He was
performance.
throwing his leg over my leg.
The leg placement was crazy. He at one point Jerry was giving Hank a lap dance and
Yeah.
whispering bing bong into his ears. I gained a newfound respect for memes last night and sometimes for
Yeah,
Hank.
my ear's fucked. I
want to know.
When you have to record that shit and watch the game at the same time. That's very hard to do. Credit to memes.
I want to know because I want to know like exactly what it sounded like when he was just screaming in your ear.
I mean, you can see the clips. I had to it was, all fun and games. We knew that's what we were there for. But he was yelling so loud, I had to start putting my finger in my ear to block it because my ear hurt. And then I woke up this morning and was like, damn, my ear hasn't popped, my left ear. I don't think that's the problem.
So you woke up with Jerry O'Connell in your ear.
Yeah, permanent damage.
He's in your head, rent free.
How does that work?
What do you mean?
What's going to happen?
I don't know.
Am I just deaf?
What would you
Maybe you know what? It might
I
be one
can't
of those,
live like this.
It
I
might
can't
be
live
one
like
of those
this
things
for
where
the rest of my life.
Like you hear a song, it gets stuck in your head. You need to hear it again to get it out of your head.
Jalen Brunson.
Is that what it sounded like?
Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson.
So
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, this is the problem. It doesn't stop. He won't stop. He's just not going to stop. Like 1 or 2 or 3 times, fine. Yeah. And then,
all right, so
Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson.
Jerry,
What a night.
Jerry, yeah, tell
What a
us
night.
from your perspective how the night was because you haven't changed. I don't know if you slept. For people who aren't watching the YouTube, tune into the YouTube because he's back in his mesh green tank top in front of his car, his antique car.
Yeah.
he's got the hat on.
Yeah.
He's got the hat on.
Yeah.
Nipples are
This
popping.
is Hank's hat. Thank you for this.
Yep.
This is,
Shout out to Josh.
This is our Brokeback Mountain hat, Hank. Yeah. First of all, my clothes. I do want to say a lot of people are saying what is he wearing? Why is he wearing that? It was the Bet Gala. I was making a joke about the fashion at the Met Gala, and I wore this, and I thought it was all fun and everything until I had to meet Larry Fitzgerald and Stephen Nash at the party. It was so much fun there at the DraftKings Sportsbook in Scottsdale. But Larry Fitzgerald was like, "The fuck are you wearing, man? What is this?"
It's a satire, Larry.
And I was like, "Oh, Larry, it's a joke. It's like the Bet Gala, the Met Gala." And then I had to meet Stephen Nash, and someone was like, "Oh, Jerry, this is Stephen Nash," and Stephen Nash was like, "What the? Are you a dancer here?" And I was like, "No, I'm an actor, Kangaroo Jack, and I'm wearing this for the Bet Gala. It's a joke." So that was a little embarrassing. I was embarrassing wearing it, but man, I totally forgot about the game. In the third quarter, I stopped watching the game. I was sitting at Chicken Fry's table. I was sitting with the chicks in the office. Casey, everybody looked pretty. It was fun. I was like, I'm giving up on this game. And then it happened. And I got to tell you, I'm a little older than you guys. Very reminiscent of the '86 Mets.
Ooh.
And how they beat the Boston Red Sox. It really is reminiscent of that. A New York team just rising from the ashes like a phoenix to destroy Boston sports. It was so much fun.
Game
Hank,
6,
I
game
never
1
screamed
is a
directly
little-
in your ear. I never screamed directly in your ear. That's from
It's on tape,
plane
Jerry.
ride.
It's on tape.
Dude, hold your nose. Hold your nose.
I've been
and,
trying to
blow
do that.
and
That's the
pop
problem.
Yeah.
You damaged him.
Yeah.
This is not Hank is blaming
No,
you
I
for
didn't.
something that is not your fault, Jerry. Hank goes to enough concerts. He's had enough speakers in his ears. I don't think it's hearing damage.
And also, for a lot of it, I was just going bing bong, bing bong,
Right.
bing bong, 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 Hanky, you blew it. Bing bong, bing bong, Hanky. It's so fun.
It was-
but I got to tell you,
You almost
The
strangled
PAs, they were
Dave, Jerry.
just
That was
on.
fucked up.
Yeah, you almost strangled Dave. You were very sensual with Hank. I thought you guys were gonna fuck. The way you were inside of his ear.
man, I got to tell you, Jersey Jerry pulled me aside. It was so fun to be with all the Barstool people. It really was. Shout out to Blutman as well. Got to give Blutman's dad a shout out also. I keep forgetting to do this. Blutman's father, obviously Barstool celebrity, is the one who said you should April Fool's Day Max and call us Big Dom. So that was all Blutman's dad. Okay. I got to tell you, so I'm there and I'm like watching the game with Hank. There was some inappropriate touching. I'm sorry about that. I mean, should I talk to like Barstool HR
That
or
doesn't
something?
exist. No.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, you also had you also just had a raging boner at one point when you got a nice cock.
Well, it was just the game was happening. I swear it wasn't Hank. Anyway, Jersey Jerry comes up to me and he's like, Jersey Jerry, who I love, was like, "Hey man, can I talk to you a second? This is like a timeout." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And he's cool. He's got his new haircut. He was fun. And he was like, "Hey dude, what's your deal, man? What's your deal?" And I was like, "What do you mean? We're watching the Knicks." And he was like, No. And he was like pointing at this outfit. He was like, "What's your deal? You married? Like, what's your story?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm married." And he was like, "Well, why are you doing all this? What is all that? Like, what's your story? I see you climbing all over Hank. Like, what is this? Who are you? You have something you want to tell me? You have something, like, get it off your chest, bro. Get it, like, be free yourself." And I was like, "Jerry, I'm going to go back and watch the Knicks." It was so exciting. But the pièce de resistance was your boss, Stule Presidente, Dave Portnoy. Immediately, the Celtics lose. He goes into his phone, and I was like, I got to go bing bong this guy. I got to go bing bong him.
Good instinct.
Went right over to him, gave him a hug, thanked him for all he does. Yeah, he does a great job. And just bing bonged him right there. It felt so good. You know what? I wouldn't have been a real Knicks fan if I hadn't bing bonged the fuck out of Dave Portnoy. It felt so good.
Give me a hug, Mr. B. Give me a hug. I want a hug, Mr. B. I want a hug. I want a gentle hug. Thank you for all you do, Mr. B. What a day! Big bang! Big bang!
Gentleman's suite. Okay, see you, buddy.
What a day! What a day! Fucking go!
Yeah, it got written up
Sorry
in the
about
New York
your-
Post. You got the New York Post had a story about Jerry O'Connell bing bonging Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, just bing bonged him right there. Did thank him for all he does. Thank you for all you do.
All right, Hank has a question.
I have another. First of all, you ruptured my eardrum, and then we got to the airport last night, and PFT gave me what I thought was your whole outfit, suit and jacket. And originally I was going to throw it away, and then I was like, you know what? When the Celtics come back and win this series in 5, I'll wear the jacket and have my sweet revenge. And then I was like, damn, this jacket's wet. You just gave him the pants, and they were like, you gave me sweaty, disgusting ass pants.
It was gross.
And the second I realized it was just the pants, I threw them away. But that was fucked up too. Like,
By the
those
way,
pants
it
were
was ass
disgusting.
sweat. It was ass sweat. And by the way, watch the video. I wasn't wearing no underwear.
Oh, so that's why the bulge was popping on that one clip where you were orgasming in front of everyone.
Go! Oh! Go!
we're leaving, and Jerry
I gotta
comes up
tell
to
you-
me. He's like, bring these pants to Hank. And then I touched them. He was like, oh yeah, you might want to be careful. That's all my ass sweat. That's on there. And they were
And
they
you
were
didn't say
so
any of that.
honestly-
PFT didn't say any of that to me. He was like, here.
Honestly, guys, full disclosure, I gotta say, loved the DraftKings Sportsbook. Those Mountain Dew cans look really cool. Great ad-libbing there. You really stretched that out. But I gotta say, I did pop a couple of Roxone before the game just to like get the blood flowing, just to be like, let's go Knicks, let's go Knicks, let's go Knicks. Oh man, it was what a dream, what a dream, what a dream, what a day, what a day.
I got a question for you because you hit some big bets last night, and I know that you're only allowed to bet a certain amount because of your wife, who we love, who's always welcome on the show.
We love.
And I know that you hit a couple bets. Have you told her about those bets? And if so, do you get to hang on to that money, or do you have to give that back to her?
No, already gave the money back. It's already gone. It's my wife's walking around money. She got it. It was a little awkward. Like I didn't want to do this at home. Obviously, I'm in the park that I always stream to you guys from. Just because like I didn't want to put this on in like front of my whole family and everything. But what a night. What a night. You know, I'll tell you, first of all, everyone should bet responsibly. A lot of people, I saw you posted how much I bet and everything. Everyone should bet responsibly. But it's so funny. I had such better's remorse because I chickened out at the last second and I was like, all right, I'll take the Knicks with the points. You should always just bet money line bets, especially if it's with your heart. Just bet money line bets. What a bummer. What a bummer. What a chicken shit I was, you know?
Yeah,
But,
it's okay though.
Jerry, I got a question for you. So you spent the whole day with us. It was great. We played golf. We hung out in the suite.
Yeah.
We went to the Bet Gala. Was it like our operation? It was just fun having you around. It was such a joy having you around all day.
It was super cool. You know, when we were playing golf, I have a little bit of a slice, a touch, but I am not a terrible golfer. Hank, I want you to say it.
You're not a terrible golfer.
Okay, that was nice.
Thank you.
Don't drive the ball very far.
I
But
have a little trouble with distance. I do, especially off the tee. I have a little trouble with distance. It's my thing. And man, Big Cat, just you in my ear, just saying like, wow, you have a little trouble with distance. You say the one thing that really fucking threw me off my game. It was so emasculating. You really are quite effective, especially when you were on the other team. But I'm literally going to the range and I'm going to my pro and I'm saying, I need another 50 yards right now. This guy just was in my ear.
Yeah.
And also, it was really fun hanging out with you. Big Cat, if I may, I mean, is this, am I allowed to be honest here with everyone?
Yeah.
Wonderful night. Did anyone try the steak at that DraftKings Sportsbook?
Yeah.
I had it all.
Oh, it was delicious. Just melted in your mouth. But going to a sportsbook with Big Cat is an interesting experience because you walk in, you're with friends, you're excited, you're going to watch a game. And Big Cat just starts at some point just like pacing back and forth. And you're like, hey, Big Cat, what's going on? And Big Cat just goes, haven't cashed a bet. Haven't cashed a bet. Haven't won a bet. Haven't won a bet all night. Haven't won a bet. Haven't cashed a bet. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, we're having fun. We're here for the Bet Gala. It's kind of fun. And Big Cat just like looks off in the distance. He's like, haven't cashed a bet. Can't hit fucking threes. Can't hit fucking threes. This fucking hockey game, it's not going to hit 6. It's not going to hit 6 goals. You got to be fucking kidding me. 5.5 goals. Haven't cashed a bet. So Big Cat, if I may suggest, like maybe just bet to have fun, you know?
Yeah.
Don't like make it because a lot of times, spoiler alert, you're not going to win bets.
Yeah, well,
you know?
that's true. That's true. And Jerry, that's very fair criticism. I personally thought I took the Bet Gala as a personal challenge, where I was like, I'm going to bet everything in a lot of it because I was like, what else are you supposed to do at the Bet Gala? So yeah, I had a lot of balls in the air at the beginning, like that whatever it was. I think it was like 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock Pacific time. Had a lot of balls in the air, and none of them were going through the net, so it wasn't going well. But then it turned around.
Yeah, didn't you hit your over goals in the Maple Leafs game?
Yeah, it was tough when you start and you like I was 0-4 within like the first 15 minutes of the Bet Gala, and that's when it gets a little, the stress starts to rise.
I haven't cashed a bet. I haven't cashed a bet. I haven't cashed a fucking bet. Cashed a bet.
That's every Sunday in the gambling cave, Jerry.
It's not about winning bets. The Bet Gala was about just looking hot with your friends and possibly giving them hearing damage.
Yeah.
So I'd say you succeeded
it was really
on
fun.
both those.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
No, you did a great job, Jerry. We loved having you there. You brought a ton of energy. We appreciate it. I love the fact that you're up 1-0. Have you thought about the rest of the series? Because Dave told you gentlemen sweep.
I mean,
yeah, just enjoy the one win.
In all honesty, I've got to tell you, the Celtics look incredible, Hank. They're a frightening team in the East. So that was really fun. Taking it one game at a time. Each game is a challenge. I mean, but the Knicks do have that special 86 Mets magic that just somehow finds a way, like Harry Potter, to beat Boston. They just figure it out. It's magic. It's magic. Hank knows what I'm talking about. Hank, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's game one. I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Hank, how old were you in 1986?
I was -7.
Okay.
-7.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jerry,
I do have one more question for you, Jerry, because we just talked about this on Sunday, and we mentioned it briefly when we were playing golf. But you worked with Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
And Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Sure.
Did he try to add any explosions? How badass is he?
He's an incredible producer. He really is. I don't even have a bit here. I'm not even doing a joke here. His attention to detail is everything. He looks at everything, and everything goes through him. And he really knows how to make people have an enjoyable experience in a theater. Best producer I've ever worked with. Such an honor, and I'm lucky to call him a friend.
Love that. Well, Jerry, let's hope this series goes 6 or 7, because we have plans to maybe fly you back for. We'll just, you know what? You'll just do Hank's right ear. You'll even him out.
Hank, I hope you don't have hearing damage. I wasn't screaming in your ear. I was not.
I agree.
What is that? How can you say that?
There's no
How can
evidence
you?
of
Yeah,
Jerry
like how can you?
screaming.
How can you say that? That's That's psychotic stuff.
I think you have like a cold. I think you have like a cold, like maybe a little cold or something.
You know what this is, Jerry? Hank's LeBron. He's like, oh no, I lost the game, so I'm all banged up now.
Yeah.
If game 2 was tonight, Hank could listen to it.
Hank is like on the couch. The Knicks just beat the Celtics, and he's like, "Oh, my ear, my ear."
Oh.
Yeah, no, that is. I woke up.
He did the look up.
I see you, Hank. I see you. My ear, I'm injured. Are they looking? Is the stream on me?
Oh.
Yeah, I see you. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. My personal favorite was when I was whispering, not shouting. I mean, infinity times. Someone read, how many times did you say bing bong on X, the everything app? And somebody wrote infinity times when I was just in commercial breaks, just going bing bong, 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 bing bong.
Mikhail Bridges, what a job!
It worked though, man. It worked.
One thing I did respect Jerry was that Jerry kept saying, like, you can say whatever you want to me, which I think was just his invitation to just go crazy on myself. Like, he kept saying that. I was like, all right.
Yeah. It's like, we love you, Jerry. What are we going to say to you?
Well, it's so funny. I mean, it's like a relationship that Hank and I have. I was like touching him. I was engaging with him, and he didn't like, he was like, every time I touched him, he was like, don't touch me, you know? And I was like, you can touch me. This is a two-way street, you know? I mean, like, I give a little, you give a little, and we have like a relationship, you know? Like, what's the deal?
He wants you to do whatever you want to him, Hank. You gotta have a safe word.
There was never really a chance.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, great job. I was very happy for you.
Can you believe
Jerry.
I know. What a night. What a night. I'm taking that win, and we'll worry about Wednesday night when it happens. We'll worry about tonight when it happens.
Yeah.
But, man, what a night.
Good work there. Good work. Good catch there. All right, Jerry, you're the best. We can't wait to see you. Hopefully, game 6 or 7, Bing Bong in Hank's ear. And yeah, it was sensual. It was special stuff. It was special stuff seeing you and Hank just having those moments. I think the one lasting image is Hank being like when my kids, when we're walking on the street and a fire truck goes by and they put their fingers in their ear. That was just Hank for the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's still, I'm still fucked.
Still fucked. Mm-hmm. Still fucked. All right, Jerry.
Tough up, Hank. Come on. People play through injuries. Tough up.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Jerry. Okay, Hank, we had to get Jerry here, special guest, because he was with us all day. He is so. It was just like a shot of energy all day. Like all day, being with him is so much fun. I didn't feel the best during the Bet Gala because I was also battling kidney stones and thought I was gonna like shit myself and piss myself. But he just brings the energy up.
Yeah, no, it was a great time, and it was like super casual. We were having fun because the game seemed like it was over.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it turned very quickly. But before that, like we were having a blast. He's a fun guy to be at a party with.
Yeah. Early in the day, we were in the golf cart together, and Jerry asked me if we were being recorded, if anything was on, and I told him no. And then he started to tell me a story, and then halfway through the story, I realized that, yes, in fact, there was a GoPro in the golf cart. I was like, hey, Jerry, my bad, it's right here. And he just stared at me like, what have you done to me? What have you done to my career? So then every 5 minutes for the rest of the day, Jerry would ask, is there a camera on us right now? Are we being recorded right now? And it was everywhere. It was in the hotel. It was
in the car.
It was at the Bet Gala, in the car. It was everywhere.
But I don't think it changed what he was going to say next.
No, not at all.
He would have said it. If we said, yes, you're being recorded, he still would say the same things. He's so fucking funny. And he's so funny.
We were leaving the golf course. Big Cat, I don't think I told you this, but we're about to leave the golf course. I go into pee right after Jerry goes into pee. He walks out, and then I'm still in the bathroom. There are 2 other guys that are in the bathroom that just saw Jerry walk out, and they start talking to each other. And they go, the Barstool guys are here. The other one's like, yeah, I know. That was just Big Cat in here. Somebody thought that Jerry was Big Cat.
I mean, I like that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Jerry's a good-looking guy. Up front, up close, he's a good fucking looking guy.
Back to the game, though. Hank, we like Joe Mazzulla. Big fans of his.
Love.
Great guy, great coach.
Best friend.
Do you have any I don't want to even use the C word, criticism. Do you have any do you have any notes for him on the game?
He's not shooting the ball.
That's true. But is there any backup? It wouldn't even be, because it feels like the Celtics' strategy is shoot threes.
Yes.
Their backup strategy is also to shoot threes.
Mazzulla ball, yeah.
I think their emergency strategy is to shoot more threes. Is there like a fourth option that's not threes?
No, I mean, I think this goes back to even before the Mazzulla days, especially like the 2022 run, where when things get tight, sometimes the Celtics fall back too much into isolation mode, one-on-one, step-back threes.
Yeah.
And it happens. It's happened in the past. I think, obviously, last year they figured it out. I think that was a good wake-up call game of, like, if we're not making our shots, we got to try and, run a better offense and just drive the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if we missed 45 threes. If we missed 40 threes, we win the game easily. So it was a historically bad shooting night. We still lost in overtime. I'm not worried about this series at all. I'm not worried about the strategy or the team or anything. Like, there's only so much you can do when you miss.
Celtics in 5?
Celtics in 5.
So, Hank,
but Jalen Brunson has to scare you a little. I
just don't think it's like if we hit a couple more shots, that game was won easily. We should have won that game easily. That was an anomaly.
I'm looking at your shot chart from the third quarter. How many non 3-pointers did you take during the third quarter?
4?
If you were to guess. No, you took one.
One.
That's really bad.
One
yeah.
shot, and I think it was a dunk or a layup. But everything else was outside the 3-point arc. And then if you look at the shot chart from before, I think this is from Chris Forsberg, up to 6:19 left in the third versus the rest of the game, you guys just went cold. So I think there is some truth to it that if you have to make
they had good looks too.
You have to make some of your threes.
Yeah, you're gonna make threes. Are you willing to do Game of the Year Wednesday night?
Yeah, I don't know what's the spread.
Whose line is it anyway? DraftKings
7.5.
What was the spread?
8.5. 9.5. 9.5 was game one.
Yeah,
I would
so
guess 7.5.
It might be
10.5.
I think
it would be higher.
I think it would be lower.
10.5.
Yeah, I think it's higher.
Okay.
You got to go desperation.
It does feel like game of the year.
Yeah, I'll go game of the year.
I would personally.
If Barcelona wins on it's Tuesday, so if Barcelona has won today, it's game of the year.
Game of the year. Okay.
Nuke.
Also, shout out Mikal Bridges because I know his stat line isn't like super sexy. He played 51 minutes.
Yeah.
And he also had the big three. And was he the one who stole the ball at the end on Jaylen Brown? I'm pretty sure, yes. So,
just ripped it away from him.
but like having a guy who can play 51 minutes is insane.
Did he say after the game, I'm a football guy?
I didn't hear that, but it's awesome.
I love that. Yeah.
Memes, you're a Knicks fan. How you feeling?
Oh, that game was unbelievable.
Yeah.
We had the best player on the floor last night.
Okay.
Got him. I think that was
Good
supposed
point.
to be like a gotcha.
No, that's a good point. That's not a gotcha.
I think he was expecting he was expecting like a rap battle, like
You can add that in post.
psych.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the gif
That's
of
the
the guy
wrong
like
number.
covering his head and going, "Oh my God, it's over."
No, I think we did.
Yeah. No, you did.
Mikal Bridges
Last
went off.
night you did.
Clutch player of the year. He proved it.
OG Anunoby went off. They played good, even though Cat had one of the worst third quarters of all time.
Well, it's clear they're going to just go after Cat to try to foul him out because he does when he's off the floor. The spacing for the Knicks is a lot different. So
Yeah, then they just go to Hack-a-Mitch, which is just brutal
Right.
to watch.
Yeah, that is brutal to watch.
And Josh Hart is a dog too.
Yeah. Yeah, he played like 46, 47 minutes. I mean, these guys they're dogs. So, do you think you can win this series?
I have more belief now.
Okay.
You just got to take it game by game, possession by possession.
Yep.
I was scared at when they were down 20. I thought we were going to get swept, smoked. Mm-hmm. But they have a lot of fight. There's no quit.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's very unlikely that the Celtics have a 3-point shooting performance in Game 2 like they did.
I'd agree with that.
I think just based on everything that you've seen from the team in the last 2 years, honestly.
And they're gonna drive more. They're gonna get even more open looks. Like
I noticed this one thing about Tibbs last playoffs, and I think I've been confirmed about it as being correct. I think he might be going bald.
You think?
I think he might be losing his hair.
Yeah, just a little. Just a little.
At some point, Tibbs should make the
Like not a lot. Like it's not like crazy. It's just like a tiny little patch.
He's got some good coverage for now, but I'm just saying something to keep your eye on because it's going to start showing up.
He wouldn't even have to do that much surgery.
And as a guy that has lost some hair, I feel like maybe I'm the first one to notice it.
Yeah.
Because I recognize the patterns I saw in myself.
Yeah, because it's not like the normal person would not notice that Tibbs is going bald.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like you're almost trained as a hair doctor now.
Yeah.
Where like, hey, you're not bald yet, but like give it 10 years, you might be bald.
I think the average person might start picking up on it in a couple of years. So just something for Tibbs. I don't know. I'm just looking out for him because I don't know if, it's a hard conversation to have for some guys.
I agree. I'd agree.
Yeah.
All right. The other game, also insane. Nuggets Thunder, hand up. I'm a moron. I think I had the exact quote of like, this is a scheduled loss for the Nuggets. They're, to go 2 days or 2 days rest into Oklahoma City, 1 seed waiting for you. It's basically a game that they might just punt on and try to win on Wednesday night. Couldn't have been more wrong. The Nuggets kept on fighting and like pushing the ball, pushing the rock up the hill, and it was crazy because it felt like the Thunder had won this game so many times. They're up 10. Mm-hmm. It was just varying degrees of 10 where it was like, oh, yeah, then the Nuggets make a little run. Then they're back up to 10. The Thunder were up 13 with 6:39 left. The Thunder up with 9 with 3:02 left. But Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. He is the best player playing basketball right now in the world. He had 42, 22, and 6. It was an MVP off with him and SGA, who also was very good with 33, 10, and 8. But the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon shot. I don't know your takeaway, PFT, but mine is just the Thunder. The Nuggets are a really good team. They've been there. They've been through the wars. The Thunder are on the younger side, choked and should have won this game. And the mismanagement and missed free throws at the end of the game were just egregious.
I think that Jokic was the best coach in this game.
Yeah.
He was actually coaching the guys on the sidelines during timeouts. When he was off the court, right before the Thunder fouled up 3, he was like running the show. He was coaching from the. You saw him like in the technical box. He was like walking back and forth, calling people out.
But that moment
Yep.
was the dumbest moment I've ever seen in these playoffs, in the fact that I do not understand for the life of me. The wave of foul up 3 has taken over basketball. I get the analytics of it. In no way are you supposed to follow up 3 without letting any time go off the clock and 75 feet from the basket. Yeah. And if you're the Thunder, how do you fuck this up so bad where there's 11 seconds left, you are up 3, Jokic is on the bench, the Nuggets do not have a timeout. Play fucking defense. You're the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
The worst that can happen is you go to overtime and there's 11 seconds left and the best player in the world's on the bench. Instead, they fouled in us 0.1 seconds, let him come back in. It was insane. Baffling.
And they fouled a guy who I think Aaron Gordon's like an 80% free throw shooter. And they fouled him so far away from the basket, got Jokic back in the game. I understand the foul up 3 thing. I personally fucking hate fouling up 3.
Oh yeah, no, I
hate it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's the right decision, I think, most of the time. With if it's 8 seconds to 2 seconds left, it's probably the right thing to do. If you foul under 2 seconds, there's a chance that they're in the act of shooting anyways, so they might be able to get a cheap 3 foul shots out of that.
Right.
But I think from what all the math nerds say, it's 8 seconds and under, it could be the right choice. But again, I don't think you can even say right or wrong all the time because it's all based on how good are your foul shooters.
Right.
So there's a lot of variables that go into it.
And you just don't, you never ever do it without you have to let them a little time come off the clock.
Yeah, I don't like it. You can't really ban it, but it seems like the coolest part of basketball is like a buzzer beater or a game coming down to the wire. And fouling up 3, it takes that away from somebody that's watching it. Mm-hmm. I know if you're a fan of either team, you've got something different invested in it. But if you're just watching the game, it just steals the possibility of having a great ending for you.
Yeah.
If you foul up 3. So again, if you're a coach, I get why you would do it in some circumstances. I just hate it. There's probably no way to get rid of it unless you also get rid of fouling when you're down to extend the game.
Yep.
So I understand that. But yeah, Jokic just... Did you see him on the inbounds play when they inbounded to Chet before Chet got fouled at the end? Mm-hmm. Well, a couple things. So one, right after Aaron Gordon made his foul shots, you know what happened right before? I think that there might have been a timeout call. There was a brief break in the action. Chet went up to the line, got the ball, and simulated taking a foul shot.
Yeah.
Like he knew he was about to get fouled.
Yeah.
On the next possession. He was thinking about it that entire time. Then he gets in, Jokic turns his back to the ball and starts doing the electric slide on defense, just jumping all over the place, getting into passing lanes. They fouled Chet, and then Chet, he just looked like he was going to shit himself at the line.
Yeah.
He did not look confident, and that's probably, the Nuggets won't find themselves in a pressure situation like that because they've been there. They've been in big games before.
Right.
This is all kind of new for the Thunder, and then Chet gets up there, and he holds the ball forever when he shoots a foul shot.
Yep.
Too. There's this big pause that you can just tell he's thinking don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up. And then he fucked it up. And I'm very happy for Aaron Gordon too.
Yeah.
He's had a great couple weeks.
Oh yeah, big time. And yeah, you are right. There was the Thunder used their last time out before Chet Holmgren's free throws. Another coaching malpractice move because what happens at the end of the game? Aaron Gordon hits a 3 with 2 seconds left. You need to have a timeout in your back pocket so that you can advance the ball.
Yeah.
You have to, that's crazy. So this was just a masterclass of a young team not being through it and not knowing how to close out these games, and the Nuggets being the opposite in a team that's been through the wars, and Jokic being the best player in the world. I do have a couple, and also, by the way, Russell Westbrook. We almost had a Russell Westbrook moment where he hit the 3. He almost hit that 3. He was wide open to go ahead before the Chet free throws. But then credit to Russell Westbrook. He's having a very good playoffs as well. His drive to set up Aaron Gordon, if you watch it, in Russell Westbrook's head, he's like, I'm going to go be the hero.
Yeah.
Instead, he takes a step or two into the past the 3-point line. Chet has to sag off. Then he hits Aaron Gordon. Perfect pass, perfect shot. That was Russell Westbrook. I don't want to say growing up, but because he's very old. But look at this. He gets Chet to kind of commit a little bit with a false step. And Russell Westbrook needs a lot of credit because we make a lot of jokes. He's been very good these playoffs. They don't win these games without him.
Russ versus Russ, and Russ won, and they were down 1 when Russ was taking the ball up court there.
Yeah.
And so he could have tried to go nuclear and do the thing that Russ
Correct.
does,
He could have been I'm
down,
Russ.
Drives to the hole and then just spikes it off the backboard and the rebound lands at midcourt, but he didn't. He made the right pass. I kind of like what Aaron Gordon, it makes no sense to shoot a 3 there, but it's the different levels of brain activity. Normal good brain activity is taking a 2 down 3 late.
Yeah.
Inspired brain activity is taking a 3 when you're down 2.
Right.
To get a 1-point win. And then genius level is taking a three when you're down one.
Well, and he was imperfect. Like he stepped right into it. It was perfectly. He was wide open. Incredible game by the Nuggets. The Nuggets are just fun. Like Jokic is so much fun to watch. I love watching him play basketball. I do have a few things that I'm concerned about for the Thunder in this series. Now, I think it's going to be a long series. We've talked about the youth. The other things that I have that I'm concerned about the Thunder. One, this was the bugaboo all year was like they're not very big down low and they can get bullied a little bit because Chet Holmgren is not exactly stout.
I think Jokic could eat Chet.
Yeah.
I think like maybe a week.
Yeah.
Give him a week, he'll consume him.
Especially when he's just played a full series against Zubac.
Yeah, right. So then he goes to it's basically he played a full series with like 6 batting donuts on, and now he's swinging a wiffle ball bat. So the Nuggets out-rebounded the Thunder 63-43, including 21 offensive rebounds. That feels like a problem. Mm-hmm. That feels like something that they might have to figure out, hey, we're going to have to put more people on the glass. I don't know what that's going to end up being, but that's a problem. I also think the problem with the Thunder is who's going to be their second guy, because they wasted a Caruso game. Caruso was awesome this game. Jalen Green was not the second. You need a second guy who can step up, and they had a bunch of guys who scored, between 10 and 15
The Thunder have
points.
so many guys, Big Cat,
But
right?
they don't have the second guy.
PFT. You got to step in.
What about guys?
Yeah, they have guys for days.
Sure, I forgot your guy's guy
off.
Who's their second guy to score?
Probably
They're Jalen Williams. Sorry, I said Jalen Green. Jalen Williams.
their second guy to score.
Jalen Williams was
I don't know.
5 for 20. Jalen Williams should be their second guy, but I don't trust him as their second guy.
They've got a lot of second guys, a lot of different guys. If you have 5 second guys, do you really have one?
This is a problem. I think you just retroactively got demolished in the guy off.
Oh no, I didn't, because the point of the guy off was that there was at least one guy on the Thunder that was better than one guy on the Celtics. That was the guy off.
Got it.
Yeah, it was.
Just a statement was SGA's better than Tatum?
No, that was not. I don't think that was the statement. SGA, do you like watching SGA?
He's in the camp of the Brunson Harden, where it's like, to be fair, a lot of times he will foul bait. I do like watching him, but when he gets into that mode where it's just living on the free throw line, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
That's just it's again.
But when
he's not saying he's not an incredible player, because he is. It's just when it becomes all foul shots, that's not fun basketball to watch.
I do like the thing that he does where he just takes the longest possible route ever to get to the basket.
Yeah.
And he just zigzags back and forth like 6 times. His knees kind of bend out, and he just looks like he's Gumby, like he's elastic.
Yeah.
I like that, but then when he does the thing where he hits the brakes or jumps sideways into a guy,
Right. It's fair. It's the fairness. It's the same thing as Brunson, where it's like, I think both of them are so awesome. But when they do get into that mode, it's not fun to watch. I just don't know. Caruso had 20 points, and they're going to need someone to step up. And it might just be that they're a year away from one of those guys being the step up guy. And then the last thing that concerns me about the Thunder is our boy didn't put on the shirt again. And he not only didn't do that, but he mocked it. He mocked the shirt. PFT, you were correct in saying that those black shirts do not play.
Yeah, the thing is, with Oklahoma City, you're maybe the best T-shirt city in America when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
Right? We can all agree on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Almost everybody wears the shirt. There's
Without
like
a doubt.
99.98% of the fans wear the shirt. You're taking away your T-shirt advantage when you wear a dark, muted color. Was it navy blue or was it black? It was a very dark color, and it didn't pop. Usually you get either the white or the blue in the light blue in the stands, and you know that it's a T-shirt game. I didn't even know it was a T-shirt game at first.
Yeah.
It just looked like there were empty seats out there.
Yeah, and so our guy Juan Guerra, there was rumors going around the internet. Actually, you said it to me in person, PFT. You're like, I think the guy put the shirt on tonight. And that's because he basically is mocking everyone who puts on the shirt. He had a poll out being like, who thinks that I'll wear a black shirt tonight? Because that was the shirt of choice for everyone. And it was no -1,000, yes +600. And then he's like, for everyone who said that I was not going to wear a black shirt, you're wrong. He was wearing a black shirt. He was just wearing an orange Oklahoma City Thunder jersey over it, making sure that he stuck out more than everyone.
Mm-hmm. I don't like it at all.
He's mocking the T-shirt culture now. Like, it's one thing to go be yourself, be an asshole, Say you're not going to wear the shirt. Fine. Make it all by yourself. That's fine. Do it. But now you're mocking those that do? Come on, man. So I think if the Thunder lose game 2, this guy, someone's got to like hold him down and put the T-shirt on.
You know what they have to do? They have to trap this guy. What the Thunder need to do is next home game, they need to not give out T-shirts at all, and then see what color T-shirt this guy's wearing. Mm-hmm. Let's say he wears a blue T-shirt, and then you have the T-shirts ready to go. You send out like a Delta force of marketing people into the crowds, passing out all the T-shirts to match that guy's shirt.
He would be so mad. It would be so great.
Yeah,
because that's all he wants to do is just stick out, and he always will quote what you got breaking moves. What?
My ear popped.
Oh,
there we go, Hanky.
Jerry!
You have an apology for Jerry?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jerry.
You blame.
I got worried. I got worried.
crazy.
I got worried.
You accused him of assault.
We got to call him.
You're Hanky
I
Smollett.
got to call him real quick.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
You guys saw it happen in real time when I realized, like, oh shit, this might be a problem, but it's not.
So
We're
you
good.
just blamed an innocent man.
I didn't blame. I said
Yell.
this could have been the
You
reason.
Yell once in your ear.
He did yell in my
Not
ear.
one single time.
It's Jussie Lockwood.
That's crazy.
What?
You should feel bad.
I don't feel bad. I'm happy I can hear.
But you should feel bad for blaming an innocent
My
man.
career was on the line. You can't podcast.
Jerry's career was on the line. You said that his voice was so damaging that it caused your eardrum to rupture.
All right,
That's his livelihood.
all right, well, he'll listen to this, and he'll hear you. Are you officially apologizing?
I don't really know what I did. I said that might have been the reason.
No, you blamed him. You pointed a finger at him.
You sat
He
up. You
did
said,
yell.
Oh, I remember why. He
Yeah.
was yelling in my ear.
He was.
I don't think he was. He said that he was not.
Yeah, you're trying to listen. This is very unbecoming of you, Hank. You need to learn how to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize for nothing.
What do you guys think is going to happen in the rest of the OKC series?
I mean, it's the Thunder. The Thunder are stacked. Like, they're the best team in the league. There's no way they lose a series.
That's good.
It's not even the Western Conference Finals.
I'm not going to overreact to one game.
No.
I do think there are issues with them rebounding.
I think it might be time for a game of the year, game 2 for the Thunder.
Yeah.
Definitely. I agree.
I mean, I think both the home teams will even the series.
I love how much Hank respects the Thunder. That's good.
How can I not?
How can you not?
They've proven so much.
I mean, they won a shitload of games this year.
Yeah, no, regular season wins means everything.
Yeah. I think Chet will be better. But again, like seeing him
Dude.
against Jokic, it does.
No.
It's like old man strength.
Yeah,
versus-
it's man versus boy.
And he knows it. Everyone knows it.
Yeah. When you're
Like
watching
Jokic,
it's very
because Jokic, all Chet has is his size, but Jokic doesn't care about that.
No.
It's like, I'll eat you.
He just big body boys him.
Yeah.
Constantly. There was one possession where it was just, he was just big body boying him like to the point where Jokic was like, all right, now I'll throw it off the rim and it will hit 95% of the rim rolling around and then go in.
There has been a lot of
That's all
disrespect
he
towards
does.
the Nuggets. A lot. Like when they were, I think it was even after they won Game 7, they were by far the last. I think the Warriors had better odds to win the NBA championship than the Nuggets did.
I mean, that would. Wait, you're saying the
Before
Knicks,
the
Knicks had to
Warriors
have been
Game 7?
No, I'm saying like
odds.
I'm saying like in the West.
Yeah, I mean that's not the Thunder are the 1 seed. I don't think that's disrespect.
No, but even though they had already advanced, and I don't think that the Warriors had advanced yet,
Got it.
the Warriors still had better odds
Got
to
it.
win the championship.
That
than
is
the Nuggets did.
disrespectful.
That is.
It is disrespectful, and I checked the odds again this morning. Not a lot of movement. It feels like they can actually play the disrespect card right now, which is crazy considering how good they've been.
Yeah. All right. Should we do hot seat, cool throne? Incredible night of basketball. That was just the best. I mean, it's gonna be tough for the hockey guys to hear it, but that was 2 insane game ones. And if the series can like match the game ones, we're in for a very fun time. All right, so hot seat, cool throne. Okay, before we get to Hot Seat Cool Throne, it's brought to you by our friends at Game Time. NBA playoffs are here, and the only place to buy hard-to-get playoff tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off, and you can save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets. Looking at tickets, Celtics Knicks Game 2, Hank.
Yeah, Garden's going to be rocking. I'm looking right now in the Game Time app, and there's a zone deal for $145. That's a $21 off deal.
Okay, so what are you waiting for? Go buy those tickets now. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Hot Seat Cool Throne is also brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. This segment is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Body Armor has great tasting flavors like strawberry banana and orange mango with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. In a bold new look with the same great taste, get your Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Body Armor, choose better. Love the new bottles. They look great. I love strawberry banana. So delicious. So go right now. New bold look. Same great taste. Get your Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Body Armor, choose better. Hank, hot seat, cool throw.
My hot seat is James Harden.
Why?
Obviously, it was talked a little bit about, but I feel like it was kind of a weekend, so it got a little bit kind of passed over how bad he was in that Game 7.
I think we called him the biggest choke.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
we
in
said that was
the
his
general public,
Mona
like,
Lisa.
it was like that. It was that one day, but it's kind of like people kind of
Yeah, it was
like, there was games Monday, and then
It was
people
a
have moved
Saturday
on.
game, then there was a Sunday Game 7. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, but it's happened so frequently that it's hard to muster up that same energy every single time he does. It's like being like, oh, can you believe Harrison Ford got into another plane crash?
Yeah.
By the
way,
every week.
I totally thought that was him, the golf course one.
Me too.
That was
my first thought.
Got to be Harrison Ford.
That's the H-man.
Yeah.
I agree, and I'm a James Harden fan. I'm also a lefty, so I've never rooted against him except for those Philly years. But it's like as a lefty, I've always enjoyed watching him play, and I kind of like his attitude of just like not giving a fuck and clubbing and flying to Vegas on off days.
You kind of are the James Harden of this show.
But then
Any big moment,
they put up.
Hank's not there.
That's not true. But
Are you just like you have a soft spot for any left-handed guy?
yeah, you identify.
You know who else was left-handed?
Who?
Hitler.
The other H-man. What?
Stalin.
Wait, Hank. What other lefties? Because I do find myself, my oldest is a lefty, and so I point out, like, when we go to the Cubs game, I'm like, hey, Kyle Tucker's really good. He's a lefty. Like, are there lefties that I should get him onto?
In the NBA, I mean, Luke Cornett was always a classic.
Yeah, Luke Kennard.
I mean, Luke Kennard.
Campaign.
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 Good call.
James Harden.
It's more, I feel like it's more.
Bailey Shireman.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterbacks, Tua.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Johan Santana.
You're also a fake lefty.
I'm lefty baseball, lefty basketball.
No, you're
But
one of the,
righty golf.
One of those lefties where you never really know what Hank's going to do with his left hand and what he's going to do with his right.
Right. You
Ambidextrous.
You could be righty.
But I'm lefty. I'm ambidextrous.
You swing golf. You
not
swing
a
golf
real
club,
lefty.
and that's the most important thing in your life, and you play that right-handed.
Right. So golfers,
Right.
I look at right-handed golfers, but again, I think it's natural that you enjoy people that do things in the same way you do. Regardless.
But not when golfing.
No, like I like right-handed golfers. Like
Right.
I
But James Harden, when he gets on a golf course, you're out on him.
if he's a lefty, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, they put up a stat during the broadcast that, again, it's like everyone kind of knew how bad it was, but this stat really emphasized how truly horrible he is. Career playoff games under 4 field goals made. And it was Kevin Durant, he's got 2. Steph Curry, he has 3. LeBron has 5. James Harden has 35
Holy shit.
career playoff games with under 4 field goals made.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
And his career's on, he's getting older. That's bad. That's his legacy.
I respect it, though. I do. Everyone's got everything, and I respect the fact that James Harden just doesn't feel like working.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bad. That was eye-openingly bad. Tough for the Harden stands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear the stat of like how many games with under 20 points he has in the playoffs?
No.
I think we talked
Yeah.
about this on Monday, but yeah, LeBron James has 0, and I think Harden has like 12.
I'll say this for James Harden, at least, obviously this year aside, because it was first round, a lot of his Barcelona just scored.
Fuck yes.
Barca. Wow. At least a lot of his playoff chokes have happened in the second or third round.
That's true.
So he's won a series.
Yeah.
Wow. This Barca team is different.
This game has been incredible. Well, that's talking soccer.
Yeah,
that was talking soccer.
all time.
Big time.
Been a lot of stuff. That's
One of the
happened.
best soccer games I've ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
Barca. Do you say Barca or Barca?
I think you say Barca, but if you say Barcelona, then it sounds like you're a man of culture.
I can't wait. I bookmarked this one idiot because I said, "What's the play in this game?" and everyone picked Barcelona,
Mm-hmm.
and they went down 2-0, and I was like, "Why is Barcelona so bad?" Everyone told me they'd win, and someone was like, "Your followers aren't smart enough about soccer to give you a winner." So I'm gonna quote tweet that fucker. Small victories.
Yeah, it's
Hey, we
good.
still got some game left.
Yeah, you're right. They got this. So.
They got this. It's Barca.
Rafinha. Oh, that's one of the guys I picked to score.
Let's go. And then, my cool tone, you like this one, Big Cat, Caleb Williams.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Jane Daniels, Drake May's married. Jane Daniels,
No girls.
no girls allowed. Like, can't
No
even,
girls
not even allowed in the same
He's like
building if a girl is
Yep.
there.
He's like a 6-year-old's clubhouse.
We're after one.
6-year-old's treehouse.
We're after one ring only, baby. That's Super Bowl ring. Did you see the video of Jaden with his mom in the car?
No.
So he was out and
He's sitting there, she was driving it.
he was getting out of the car, and there was a girl that was talking to Jaden on the sidewalk, and his mom was in the car. And his mom just kept saying, "Excuse me, excuse me." I love her. She's the best.
It's a little creepy.
She's the best.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Caleb Williams was in Miami, and he got out of a car at a restaurant with 3 different supermodels.
Hell yeah.
That's a QB1 you want. That's QB1
that's aura.
activities.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a helicopter
No
mom,
girls.
24-year-old.
No girls.
That's pretty damn cool to get out of a car with 3 chicks. Never in my life.
That would be the most stressful evening ever. Imagine going on a date with 3 women at once. That would be tough.
It'd be sick.
Yeah, but that just means he's got something.
Hey, they're good looking too.
Yeah.
All due respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool throwing Caleb Williams.
Good job, Hank. Great job, Hank.
Nice job, Hank.
Great job, Hank.
Thank you.
My hot seat is horse racing. Horse racing's on the hot seat because Sovereignty just announced that he was not going to be competing in the Preakness. So we're one and done.
Sucks. We're still gonna have Randy Moss on because we love talking to Randy Moss, but this sucks.
I guess Sovereignty might race in the Belmont. They haven't made an announcement about that yet, I don't think. But I don't know why you would, because it just seems like
it's money.
money,
A lot of money.
but also you already won the Kentucky Derby. That horse is going to be set for life. That
Yeah, it
horse can retire
sucks.
tomorrow.
I mean, there's thoughts that he might have an injury. Obviously, a quick turnaround, but that's the whole point of this. Winning the Triple Crown is not easy. What did it say? We received a call today from trainer Bill Mott that Sovereignty will not be competing in the Preakness. Bill informed us they would point towards the Belmont Stakes. We extend our so he didn't even cite an injury. It sucks. This is, I think, the 3rd time it's happened in the last 13 years, so it's obviously a trend. This is horse racing has a lot of issues right now, and this is definitely one of them. We talked about it. Remember a couple years ago, Flightline, one of the best horses I've ever seen in my life, and he raced I think 5 races and then was studded. Like I wanted to see him race more, so it sucks.
Yeah, eventually the horses aren't even going to ever race. They're just going to get a radar gun out, and they'll be like a 2-year-old horse, and this is the fastest 2-year-old we've ever seen. He's never actually going to compete, but you can buy his offspring.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, so it's tough.
We will still get Randy Moss on though.
It's like Shador skipping the East-West Shrine Bowl. We want to see more of these horses.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying Sovereignty, you are now a Cleveland Brown.
I'm saying I'm going to prank call Sovereignty.
Got it.
Somebody out there get me Sovereignty's number. I would love. We should harass this horse
I'm down.
because this
It's been
horse,
a while.
frankly,
Do we still got it?
frankly,
Can we still get a horse off of Twitter?
this is what's problem with this generation of horses. The generation. What generation are we in now? Generation Alpha,
I think it's beta.
Beta. This is a beta horse. This is what happens. It's a horse that's been coddled its entire life. Told that it's special. It accomplishes one thing, which in the grand scheme of things, guess what?
It's beta.
A horse wins the Kentucky Derby every year. You're not special, man.
Sorry. He was born as an alpha.
So he's
Beta started in 2025.
Okay, so
my kids just missed it. They're all alphas.
he's
Thank
late
God.
alpha. This horse is a late alpha.
He's one of the latest alphas.
And I think that it's disgusting what this generation is doing. There's no accountability. There's no thirst for greatness. There's no dedication to your craft. There's no hard work. These horses are just taking the easy way out. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So fuck this horse. Sovereignty, you're on my list.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had a list until right now, but Sovereignty is the first name on my list.
Agreed.
Bitch. And then my cool.
He's fat too.
I heard that
Looking like Luca. He's eating too much hay.
I heard he's on that Nyquist shit. That he's put on a couple pounds.
Sovereignty's a pussy. Let's stop beating around it. This horse is a fucking pussy.
Yeah. And if it's not Sovereignty making the decision, if it's like a helicopter trainer that's binding everything for him, like let your children make their own mistakes.
Oh my God. Inter just scored.
And then all the shirts are coming off.
Oh no.
How many more shirts is this
This
guy
game is nuts. Talking soccer. This game is bananas. BANANA.
Can we get some VAR or something?
This feels like it's a Pope thing. Like this is for Pope Francis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if it's a trainer thing, shoot the trainer like a horse.
Yeah.
Not actually.
Or at least just like put a tarp up and then have him disappear and then we can all think that he's dead. But I think that this is it's bullshit.
Yeah.
What are we teaching? I'm worried about the youngsters out there that are watching this horse that have like my
all aspiring horses out there?
My 4-year-old son Chris came in the other day. He's like, Dad, I want to be like Sovereignty when I grow up. And I told him, well, if you work hard and you eat your vegetables and you stay in school, get good grades, maybe one day you can.
Yeah.
And then now his idol is going to teach him that you accomplish one thing and then you never do anything again for the rest of your life.
Because my 4-year-old daughter came in and said, I want to be Sovereignty when I grow up. And I said, hey, idiot, you're older than Sovereignty.
Yeah.
So
That's
Chris
a good
is
point.
also older than Sovereignty.
Chris is stupid as shit.
Yeah. All right, your cool throne?
My cool throne is accountability. Accountability is also on the cool throne because the Ravens have moved on from Justin Tucker.
Was this because of the thing?
The draft, yeah. It was because of the draft.
Was this a football decision?
This was a pure football decision. The Ravens announced yesterday that they were moving on from Justin Tucker, who is, I think, still the best. Is he the best kicker of all time? I
remember he was like going back and forth. He was switching back and forth. That's not a joke about Justin Tucker and massage, but you could make that joke. I'll find it. You keep going. I'll find it.
Yeah, so this is what General Manager Eric DeCosta had to say. Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult. This is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. Justin created many significant and unforgettable memories in Ravens history. His reliability, focus, drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in the next chapter of their lives. So, yes, this was a football decision.
Yeah. This he is technically field goal percentage. He is. Yeah. Why are the Ravens pretending? I mean, I guess you can just do this. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But it's also very weird because it's not a football decision.
It's also interesting that for maybe the first time ever, somebody is forcing a release on Justin Tucker.
Mm-hmm. And we still don't know what happened, right? Like we don't have, has he been charged? Has anything happened?
I think they've investigated it and there's a bunch of accusers. We should say that they're all accusations.
Yeah.
So we don't really know, but there's certainly a lot of them.
Do you think I would imagine there is a like magic 8-ball at every NFL headquarters and they hit it, they shake it up and they say, oh my God. All right, we got to stop watching this game.
I was talking tennis.
Yeah.
Real quick. That was
Hank is
some groans.
They shake it up and then it just gives you an answer of like, how should we release Justin Tucker? He's been accused many times of sexual misconduct, and it just floats up. It says football decision.
Yeah, it was a football decision made for on-the-field reasons. It's the same thing as with Deshaun. It's like either he's a victim of one of the most coordinated, vicious smear jobs of all time,
correct,
or he's a world-class scumbag, and there's really no in between.
Correct.
And it feels unlikely that this would be a coordinated hit job from so many people.
Yeah. All right. My hot seats, I have two. The first is Nebraska football, because Michigan has put a self-imposed 2-game penalty on their head coach, Sharon Moore. It is the scandal that keeps on getting guys fired or suspended or self-imposed suspensions. And usually you'd say, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Sharon Moore out for the first 2 games. No, he's not. So they play Oklahoma week 2.
Yeah, so you can't do that.
Michigan has suspended Sharon Moore for week 3 and 4, Central Michigan and Nebraska. That's such a slap in their face.
Yeah, because you can't jump it. Who they play week 1?
I don't know.
My guess is probably Cupcake.
Yeah, probably.
Right? So yeah, you can't split them up. It can't be like Grover Cleveland or Trump presidencies where you just like go back and forth.
Yeah.
So
New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico. So you can't go New Mexico Then he gets to coach Oklahoma.
Then
then he's out for Central Michigan. You have him back-to-back. So Nebraska, I mean, I would like to see an argument from Nebraska about this. It's like if you have to choose either Oklahoma or Nebraska, you're choosing Nebraska.
Yeah, it's tough. It's very tough. Sherrod Moore did go to Oklahoma, so they were like, "Oh, well, he wants to play." I think it's more that they're doing Central Michigan and Nebraska because it's a pairing.
Yeah,
Oklahoma and New Mexico or Central Michigan and Nebraska. That they're literally saying Nebraska is not as good as Oklahoma,
which I think is probably fair.
Yeah.
Did you see that Michigan's president is leaving for Florida?
Yeah. This all this is just weird coincidence.
Is that for 2 weeks as well, or is that like a full-time?
No, I think that's full-time.
Okay, so full-time president.
Everyone is scrambled,
but
they did nothing wrong.
So do you think that there's any chance that maybe the president of Michigan is leaving because some shit's about to hit the fan?
Maybe. Or he just couldn't stomach missing the Nebraska game.
That's true, yeah. He's so vehemently against this decision that he had to resign.
Yeah. My other hot seat is Grand Theft Auto because they released another preview. I didn't realize that it's 2026 now. This is my hand up. I'm not in gaming shape. I don't really game anymore. I miss it. I had no idea they didn't release a new main title Grand Theft Auto since 2013. I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
That's crazy. I thought it was every couple of years there's a new Grand Theft Auto. What the fuck are they doing? Figure it out.
They're creating the greatest game of all time.
But you can't have a gap of 13 years between the game.
I mean, people are excited.
But I'm not saying that this game won't rock because it probably will. And I'm excited they finally are doing it, although they did push it from this summer to next summer. I'm saying, how the hell did we have 13 years in between?
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, we had a long time between GTA 1 and GTA 2. You remember that?
Memes.
GTA 1 was a completely different game.
That's the meme, though. It's like we got this before GTA 6, or GTA 6 is also becoming Embiid now.
Yeah, it's GTA 6 and Embiid.
Yeah. Everything's Embiid.
And everything's a meme.
Yeah.
So memes, are you excited? How old were you when the last one came out?
2013. I was a senior in high school.
Okay, so you remember that one?
Yeah, I mean, I still play it. I feel like
PFT, we didn't have a big gap. It went 97, 99, 01, 02, 04, 08,
You're
13, right. 26.
You know what it was? It was GTA. The difference between GTA 2 and GTA 3 was just night and day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
GTA
1 and
3
2 were so hard.
That's when it became GTA, was GTA 3.
Yeah, that's where it really
1 and
started.
2, like,
and Vice City was
couldn't get out of you couldn't get away from the cops.
Yeah, they should do one where it's just University of Georgia, Grand Theft Auto.
This is crazy that it took this long. But
people still play GTA, that's the thing.
Yeah, but I'm upset. I might have to play this new game.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to play.
Sick.
It's interesting. Like, how do you keep updating a game where you can literally do whatever you want?
Well, I believe I'm not super locked into the GTA. Maybe memes can fill in, but I believe GTA 5 has a way where you can like build your own world and like create your own servers. Where
like a Minecraft shit.
It can kind of be like you can build your own world within GTA, which is why it's still active.
And I'm pretty sure you could gamble in it too.
Yeah,
you go to like the online casino. You go to the casino in the game, and you're gambling in real life with real money.
Catch me at the casino.
That sounds safe.
I'll be there. And then my cool throne is I pissed out one of the 2 kidney stones, so I'm feeling better.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we talked to Jerry O'Connell about the Bet Gala, and I was in a bad mood because I didn't have any winners early on, but I also was in torture at the Bet Gala because my stomach felt like it was going to explode, and being in a social setting with kidney stones is not exactly fun.
So you did not save this one, correct?
I didn't. So we got back at 2 a.m. I took a piss. I knew it was coming. I had the split piss.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Shefty for announcing.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. That's why you are an insider. I had the split piss on the plane, and I was like, it's coming. Got home 2 a.m. after a long-ass day, pissed, incredible pain, see it floating around, and then I had this moment of, should I fish this out of a toilet with piss in it? Or should I just go to sleep after a 20-hour day? And I chose sleep after a 20-hour day.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You guys tell me if what I did was wrong in any way, shape, or form, because I've had some bad pushback on this. When I pissed mine out, I was like, I got to get it out. I gotta save it, and then I got to take it to the urologist so he can tell me what's wrong with it.
I did that for my last one, yeah.
So I didn't have the strainer. I went into my toilet with a slotted spoon.
Yeah.
and
No.
I fished it out,
No.
and then I washed the spoon and put it back in the spoon drawer.
No.
Hot water, soap, washed it very good. Some people told me that was disgusting.
No.
They're like, I'm going to be serving guests over at my house with my piss spoon.
If that's disgusting, well, then tell me, like, put these two together. You can't use a piss spoon, but you can piss in the sink where the spoon ends up?
Yeah, good point. Hypocrites much?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you should. Pee's sterile.
Yeah.
You're fine. So I'm glad that you pissed it out.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt like my stomach hurt so bad all day. I pushed it too hard. I shouldn't have played golf, but I did have fun with the boys.
But we're both on the clock now again.
Yeah, you are. I have another one, but that might have been the big one. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they told. Like, I've got multiple. So it's like any given moment.
Yeah, but I do feel better, so that's good. And what are you looking at us like that, memes?
There's more?
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys just constantly have them?
I had a 2mm and a 3mm and a 4mm. I hope that was the 4mm.
My body's like a quarry. I'm just pissing out stones. I got a whole stash inside me right now.
I like to think my body is more like a really nice, like English countryside, one of those big driveways going up to the mansion, and it's lined with pebbles.
Yeah, cobblestone.
Yeah, not cobblestone. I'm saying like the actual pebbles.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see those at like super, super rich, like Hampton's houses have them. The driveway is pebbles. That's my kidney.
You think one day if we just kept them inside our bodies, it would turn into diamonds?
We should try.
I think it might.
We should try. Okay. Good hot seat, cool throne, everyone.
Yeah.
Barcelona and Inter are in extra time.
Is this sudden death?
Nope.
This is not.
Do you mean the game?
Like if someone
No, it's not golden goal.
Okay.
No. So we'll just keep updating when we do FAQs, and that was Talking Soccer again. All right, before we get to our interview with Kirk Goldsberry, you see it right in front of us. We've got the new Mountain Dew cans, and guess what? Bottles as well. And guess what? It is summertime. I love summer. I love the heat. I love golf. I love barbecue. I love baseball. I love just being in the backyard. I got a new grill set up, PFT.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to grill tonight. You know what I'm going to do it with? A Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, nothing goes better.
Yeah.
I got a pizza oven. I'm going to try to figure out how to work outside. I feel like pizza and dew is a winning combination too.
I love that. So nothing goes better with pizza oven outside, grilling outside, and hanging with your friends in the refreshing citrusy kick of Mountain Dew. We love Mountain Dew. We love these new cans. It's nostalgia in a can. They brought back the old logo, so go check it out right now. Grab a Dew in the new packaging and enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. I already had one today. Gonna have another one because I love Mountain Dew, and it tastes delicious. So thank you to Mountain Dew. And again, go grab a Dew in the new packaging and enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Okay, here he is, Kirk Goldsberry. Okay, we now welcome on a very, very, very special guest, our good friend. He has changed jobs, though, since we last had him on. He is now with The Ringer, NBA analyst at The Ringer. He's also a New York Times best-selling author. He also has some new cool stuff at his store, which we'll talk about later. It is Kirk Goldsberry, here to talk playoffs. Kirk, always great having you on. I have a first question, and I don't know if I just want to hear it from your brain because you're a lot smarter about basketball than us. Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player in the world. We've run out of things to like explain it. Can you explain it in your smart guy language of how and why he is the best basketball player in the world? And no disrespect to SGA, who will win the MVP this year most likely. Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player in the world.
He's the most skilled player in the world. He does everything at a very high level except one thing, which we'll get to later, which is why Michael Malone got mad at me. PFT, you know the story. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I came across this year doing a Best Shooters of the Year column at The Ringer was that Nikola Jokic was the most efficient jump shooter in the league, Big Cat. And that's not even his calling card. This dude is one of the best rebounders, one of the best passers, one of the best close range scorers, has the best floater in the league, but he's also an incredible jump shooter. And that's not even a strength. So long story short, he's just the most skilled big man we've ever seen. His stats are insane across the board. And if you look at the box score from the game one victory against OKC, it looks like a Wilt Chamberlain 48 and 22. What are we doing? This is insane.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it does feel there's every now and then, Steph was probably, you could put him in this category, even LeBron, where it's like you feel like you're watching something that you haven't seen before in basketball. And I feel like there have been big men who have been skilled in certain ways. They're obviously, the dominance of Shaq or Kareem, but like the total package of Jokic does feel like something we have never seen before.
Yeah, at least our age. And there's some old heads who saw Wilt score like 60 or average 50 and 50 or whatever, but we're not those dudes. Like I was thinking about Shaq this morning because he's the most dominant center of my life, right? Like this dude single-handedly won the 2001 NBA playoffs. Like it destroyed everybody in his path. Jokic is putting up way better stats than that guy, again, with one exception, which is interior defense. And the way to beat the Nuggets is to attack him in the paint, something the Thunder haven't been able to do yet. But they're the worst paint protection team left in the playoffs. I wrote an article about it a few years ago, and former Nuggets coach Michael Malone took exception with my analysis. But that's exactly the one weakness this guy has. It's his Achilles heel, if you will. The dude can't protect the basket like some of the other great centers of all time.
It was a great story because you wrote that article, and then I think that was right when the Nuggets caught on fire and won the championship, right? Like you deserve some credit for spurring on that team. So about the Nuggets, they moved on from Malone, and I feel like Jokic is also part coaching the team too. So he might not play great interior defense, but he's a great offensive player, and he's also what seems to be a very good head coach too at the same time. What's different about the Nuggets now as opposed to when Michael Malone, we call it the post-Malone phase?
Post-Malone, shout out Posty. The face tattoos, I would say. But no, I think the biggest thing, PFT, is the leadership of Jokic in those huddles. We've seen him being very animated, like you're saying, almost drawing up plays. But the players seem to be getting along. The morale seems really good. There's just a cohesiveness. It simply wasn't there. And one of the reasons they moved on from Michael Malone and Calvin Booth is the vibes were toxic in that organization near the end. We don't have enough numbers to really say, they're doing this, that, or something else different at this point. It's been such a short amount of time and the playoffs started. But, dude, they're just getting along well. And I think that image I have of Jokic at the sideline, like yelling at his teammates like a fiery Greg Popovich moment as a coach, that's new. Yeah. That's what I've noticed that's different.
Yeah. And so obviously don't want to react to one game, but it was a shocking game, the Nuggets Thunder. It was an incredible game. I know that the follow-up three, we discussed it. I think you probably agree. Follow-up three is fine. You don't follow up three 75 feet from the basket with the best player off the court. Like that just felt like the Thunder completely screwed that up. But I listed three things that I'd be concerned about for the Thunder, and I want you to maybe tell me if I'm way off or if you maybe have a fix the Thunder could go with. The first was rebounding. This has been their problem all year. They're not super big down low, especially with Chet because he's a stretch five. The second is I don't know who their second scorer is going to be, and you kind of need that second scorer to step up in big moments. And the third is the fan who sits courtside's got to put the fucking T-shirt on.
I love that. Dude, their second scorer is a great point, Big Cat. It can't be Alex Caruso like it was in game one.
Right.
They need either Chet or J-Dub to show up. And again, attack the teeth of this Nuggets defense. Make them protect the rim. They don't want to do it. They're not good at it. So I think that's the key I'm watching for. They should be worried. I mean, this is a team that swept a weakened first-round opponent last year in New Orleans and then played Dallas in the second round as the number one seed. Dallas was, I think, the 5 seed, and they lost 4-2. It's a really similar trajectory here with another sort of Balkan dude, like leading the opponent and showing them how to win games late, like Luka did last year. They need, and I think it starts with SGA. The other thing I'd say, which is sort of a first take, is like SGA's got to start playing like the MVP right now. Because right now, Jokic won round one of the head-to-head MVP battle, which is also great. Like no shade it takes about superstars. That was awesome. But SGA has to win a couple of these head-to-head battles, dude.
Yeah.
So what about with the T-Wolves? Anthony Edwards, it seems like he's improved every single year. He's gotten better at passing too, which is good to see. I think he probably has some room to improve there still. But with the Timberwolves, has Rudy Gobert been unlocked offensively?
Yes, I think so. Thanks in part to the Los Angeles Lakers' bold strategy of not employing a center, in the NBA. It was worth a shot not having a center on your basketball team. But Rudy Gobert really exposed the weakness of that. Yeah. And what's interesting to me is if there's one other team that's really small left in this playoffs, it's the Golden State Warriors, who start a very small front court, obviously. And Rudy, I don't know if you guys know this, Rudy has a little bit of a history with Draymond Green.
Yes.
And so I'm very much looking forward to these toils in the front court in this series. But size matters, guys. You know this better than anybody. Size matters. And I really think that's what this series is going to come down to, not only in the front court where the Timberwolves have Rudy Gobert, but also, dude, all the looks they can throw at Stephen Curry with Ant and Jade McDaniels and Alexander Walker. They're just bigger and longer and more athletic. So I think they have a good shot of advancing in this series.
All right, but question about that, because the Rockets beat the fuck out of Steph Curry. Like, I think that was one of the hardest series he had to play in terms of the physicality. And Amen Thompson was, obviously he gets hurt at the end of Game 7, which clearly bothered him, and the closeouts weren't the same. I feel like this is similar to Jokic going from the Clippers to the Thunder, where it's like now he can do whatever he wants down low. Zubac isn't there. I feel like Steph Curry will have a little bit of easier time than he did against the Rockets, because that was they did a very good job of making sure that Steph didn't beat them every single night.
I agree with that. I mean, Houston is an insane defense, just built for war, and Ime Udoka is the toughest coach, most defensive-minded coach in the NBA right now. That said, dude, Anthony Edwards isn't afraid he's a great defender. He's more athletic, and youth is a big thing at this stage of the season. And Steph is beat up. Like, if you look at the shape of it, the best shooting hand we've ever seen is deformed right now. These guys are beat up, and that's such an underrated part of this. We're asking this older team to go in and play this younger team after that war in Houston. And I just see a real opportunity for Minnesota to keep that momentum going using a similar formula of just pounding them inside, getting rebounds, whether it's Gobert or Naz Reid, Jade McDaniels. Like, these guys are big. And I think they can give the Warriors problems. And the other thing I'd say, Big Cat, lastly, Houston couldn't score. Right. This Minnesota team is going to score on that end of the court too.
That's a good point. Yeah, Houston was a tough watch. They're building something, but it was a tough watch sometimes watching them play offense.
Yeah, they need one more guy, but they had a great season, and I think like Golden State also deserves credit, guys. That's a very good defense when they've been at their best in the postseason for 10 years now. Draymond has been the middle linebacker of one of the best defenses in the postseason, and they deserve credit for making Houston look bad a lot of the time too.
I want to flash back real quick. We got to do just a brief Luka and the Lakers postmortem. So, in your statistical opinion, you're a math expert. Is Luka too fat?
Dude, he is, honestly. Like, he is.
Yeah, it's the truth.
He's gotten bigger.
He's not like fat by our standards, but in terms of NBA basketball, he is too fat.
And I heard you guys calling out my good friend Zach Lowe, also at the Ringer, the other day, because he had like a really great observation, Big Cat. I think it was you. He said he's laboring all the time.
Yeah, he's constantly laboring.
He looks like he's played one too many games of pickup on a Sunday afternoon, and he's still out there trying to make it work. And it's just he's slow on defense. He's slow to the basketball. And then, he looks like he's overweight. I'm sorry. It's not a nice thing to say about another person, but when you look at some of the other superstars in this league and how they take care of their bodies and how they work out and how they present themselves physically, like Luka sticks out. Yeah. And it took Jokic, and you make fun of that Jokic piece. Jokic really had a body transformation himself that get him over the top.
Yeah.
So I think Luka needs to do that. I think he will do that. But when you ask me the question, he got torched on defense, dude. Jade McDaniels, Anthony Edwards were just driving on him like he was the slow guy at the pickup game.
Yeah.
And they just torched him.
You know what's funny is, like, I was thinking about it because, Luka gets killed for his defense and his body. And there's other superstars that maybe aren't the best defensively. And you could put Jokic and Steph in that category where they both try very hard, but they're not elite defenders. Jokic and Steph, if you look at their bodies, they transformed their bodies. And I know people are like, Jokic still looks – he's totally different than he was 5 years ago. Steph, remember how much – like Steph has put on so much muscle and just gotten so much stronger through the course of his career. Luka has to do that.
Steph is arguably the most conditioned player in the league, period.
Yeah.
Like if you watch him at the fourth quarter, one of the reasons he was so great in the Olympics or he's so great in the playoffs is he, at age 37, is still like the guy with the most juice at the end of the fourth quarter. That childhood picture of Nikola Jokic is legendary for a reason. I know you guys love that. But yeah, like it's a battle for a lot of us. Like everybody has to deal with this in some facet of their life. And I think a lot of players have had a really good nutritional awakening in the middle of their 20s. And Luka Doncic has an opportunity to do just that. And like I said, I think he will. But I do also think it's fair to say it's limiting him, particularly on the defensive end of the court and at the end of games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's in the place to do it. You're in LA. You got juice shops everywhere.
Dude,
like you're in the mecca of health food. You can shed a few pounds.
You gotta have your shirt off a lot.
And then if JJ keeps playing like, the same guys for the second halves of every game, he's going to eventually get into shape, right? Like Luka was probably like, this is not the five guys rotation I thought I was signing up for.
Oh yeah, that was not the right kind of five guys. Lucas, when JJ said they were going five guys, he got confused and he got excited.
So is he worse on defense than he was last year? Because the Mavericks, I mean,
yes,
nobody forgets that the Mavericks made to the finals, but it's, we talk about Luka in a much different way now than we did last year.
Well, the other thing, and when Nico Harrison was still alive, he had assembled like this great defense last season with PJ Washington, with Daniel Gafford. Like they were really good. And there was some deodorant on the floor with Luka defensively. And the Lakers had Austin Reeves and aging LeBron, Rui Hachimura. They didn't have guys to clean up the mess behind Luka when somebody would beat him on a drive. Dallas did a great job of building around a slower, weaker defender. And to be fair to the Lakers, PFT, they haven't had time to do that organizationally. I've had a few people say, hey, that Mark Williams trade that they canceled at the deadline, they probably should have forced that through so they could have had that bigger guy. Regardless, they have to build a different team now with this Luka Doncic situation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough piling on Luka, but I think we get the point.
It's better than Luka piling on us.
That is true.
Oh, it's suffocating.
Dang, that would hurt. Bro.
Yeah. So looking to the East, Hank is not in the room right now, but I'll ask like he was. How panicked should the Celtics be?
Dude, I wish I was at the Bet Gala last night. What a moment that must have been for you guys.
We didn't release the movie, but it was a movie.
I mean, they should be panicked if they just can't hit any more 3-point shots, but I don't think that that's going to carry over. But maybe you tell me, is there something that happened with the Knicks that like this is something that we could see the Knicks pushing back a little bit on, make it a series?
I mean, yeah, they had more fight. And then the thing that drove me crazy, so the Celtics, the stat from that game, PFT, is what? The Celtics broke the record for most missed threes in a playoff game. They missed 45 threes in a game. That's almost one a minute. Like that's ridiculous. And at some point, let's say when you miss 34 threes and it's the middle of the third or the end of the third quarter, you're like, maybe we should do something else. Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't do anything else. And one of the things that Jalen Brunson has done a lot this year is when in that Detroit series, they needed points to stop a Detroit run. Like he would flop. He would go into the teeth of the defense and make a play, draw a whistle. The Celtics didn't do anything like that during that Knicks run. They seemed really content to sit behind the 3-point line. I think the last play of overtime where Mikal Bridges like ripped the ball away from Jaylen Brown was like a poetic ending to that game. Like they refused to attack the basketball hoop. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are too good to be that passive when the threes aren't going in. I don't expect that to continue, but when the Celtics team isn't making their threes, they do have a tendency to sort of just say, oh, that's all we have. Now, the other thing is Porzingis wasn't out there. He's a big weapon. They could have posted up. They didn't have that. So I don't expect this to continue, but the Knicks are not going to go away. And if you give them a chance and you let them stay in the game, they're also a much better clutch team than the Celtics, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah. Do you blame yourself a little bit for that Celtics loss? It's like they were playing Goldsberry ball.
Yeah, I mean, I've played both sides of that line. I think Joe Mazzulla loves math. I know he loves the town. I know he loves Pardon My Take. I wish he loved 2-point scoring a little bit more when they have a nice slump going. Like 15 of 60. That's your game. You're not going to win if you miss 45 threes.
Yeah.
You also mentioned Pop, and Pop's been in the news. He's taking a front office role. El Jefe is what he's calling himself.
El Jefe.
I like that name. It's a great name. And I like the press conference too. We just turned around. He's rocking the shirt that says El Jefe, and Manu's all excited to be the special assistant to El Jefe. So you worked with Pop for a while. I don't know what your guys' relationship was, but we talked a little bit about Pop on Monday's part of my take. You got any good Pop stories?
Yeah, I got two. I'll do a basketball one first that involves James Harden. The 2017 playoffs, we were playing the second round against the Rockets. They were incredible, like peak D'Antoni Rockets with Harden. And one thing I had really sort of done in the scouting report was dive into their 3-point shooting fouls. And I told Pop in this memo, I was like, they've drawn 108 3-point shooting fouls this season, Harden and Lou Williams at the time or something. And I said, they're scoring 11 points a game in the first round against the Thunder on these 3-point shooting fouls. You get the guy in the air, you jump into him, or you do the rip through. And I was like, we can't give them those. That was my one analytics. Like, let's not let that happen. And right before game one of that series, he pulls me over and he had like a glint in his eye. And he's like, Kirk, that's way too many. That's way too many 3-point shooting fouls. And he kind of winked at me and was like, okay. And I had no idea what the game plan was. And then we come out, and that's when we were playing pick and roll defense. Our guys had our hands in the air. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
We were playing defense with our hands up because Pop had said, hey, we're not going to get caught. In that whole series, early in game one, Patty Mills got caught with a 3-point shooting foul that he shouldn't have been called for. And that was the only 3-point shooting foul the Rockets got that whole season, or that whole series. We won in 6 games. That's the game 6 where Harden famously didn't show up in Houston. We didn't have Kawhi. But that was a really great moment of watching how Pop looked at a stat and then devised the defense that nobody had really seen.
Right.
Like before or since, like watching guys like play defense like this, it was a remarkable thing. And I love that. I loved seeing how he was able to implement that and win a series with that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And that's also like a credit to him. I would assume that working with him, he was open. Like the best coaches are open to ideas, and they're open to, someone on the staff being like, hey, just look at this. And they don't say, oh, well, I know basketball better than anyone here, because he could do that. He could say he knows basketball better than anyone, but instead being like, oh yeah, actually this is something that we have to, game plan for and be smart about.
Yeah.
Quick break from Kirk Goldsberry to talk to you about, look at these, the new Mountain Dew cans. PFT.
It's vintage. I like the sun design on here. This would be a sick tattoo.
I see this logo and I just feel refreshed.
I see this logo, I get thirsty.
Hank, what's your favorite thing to do in the summer?
Favorite thing to do in the summer is go to the beach
No,
and golf.
and golf.
And
So
drink Mountain Dew.
nothing goes better with golfing with your boys and hanging with your friends in the refreshing citrusy kick of Mountain Dew. We love Mountain Dew. We love one of our favorite sponsors. When they came on, we're like, yes, we love Mountain Dew. And then they threw back throwbacks to the nostalgia of our youth with these cans. They're so awesome.
You know what? This would hit real good driving around the El Camino in the summertime.
Mountain
Windows
Dew
down, dew in hand.
Yeah, they really did crush it. Like with when you walk down a grocery store aisle, it's like, that's what I want. I want this. I want the citrusy, delicious kick of Mountain Dew. Nothing goes better with golfing, with hanging with your friends, than the refreshing citrusy kick of Mountain Dew. So grab a Dew in the new packaging and enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew today. We love Mountain Dew. Thank you to Mountain Dew. We appreciate you, Mountain Dew. All right, back to Kirk Goldsberry.
I've had another quick one. So Pop is also more than basketball. And in one of our New York road trips, he took us, he came into the team bus, was like, who wants to go to a play tomorrow? And nobody raised their hand. And I raised my hand. I was like, I'll go to a play. And so we go to this play, just me and him. And it's Kate Blanchett and PFT will know this. It's Anton Chekhov's The Present, Chekhov, the Russian playwright. And in the first act, like, I don't know anything about Chekhov, right, except for one thing. And the play is called The Present. In the middle of the first act, the Kate Blanchett character opens a present that's a pistol. And I'm like, wait a second. I've listened to enough prestige TV podcasts to know. And I was like, Pop, we had intermission. I was like, dude, I think this is Chekhov's gun. I think this is where this came from. I think we're going to, I don't want to spoil anything for you, Pop, but I think we're going to see this gun again in the third act. And sure enough, it happened. And he had never heard of Chekhov's gun. So I remember, but that's a great example. Pop loved Russian. He loves plays. He's just a culture guy, and he always wants people in basketball, which is very rare in the NBA. Very few NBA teams do stuff like that. And he was always really intentional about taking us out to museums or having great speakers come in or taking us to theater or having musicians come through. And that was just a really cool thing for him to do. He didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah. That's very cool. My NBA equivalent of Chekhov's gun is when Draymond hits 2 consecutive threes to start a game when he's feeling himself.
Yeah, or Russ. Even Russ.
Yeah. With Dre, it's more like if he hits 2 threes right off the start, he's going to get a tech at some point in that game because he's feeling himself.
Westbrook's gun.
Yeah, Westbrook hits 2, and you're gonna see 6 more. Yeah. Also, we were just saying it. Russell Westbrook has been awesome for the Nuggets this postseason. Like some of these games they do not win without him. And I know that we joke about him because he is funny to watch, and he does have moments where he just becomes like, "Hey, I got this." But he's been playing great team basketball, and even we were breaking down that pass to Aaron Gordon, like. There's a world where Russell Westbrook says we're down 1, it's 2 on. I'm 1 on 2. I'm going to go to the rack and be Russell Westbrook, and he made the smart basketball decision.
Dude, I don't know if memes have you guys seen the clip of the studio crew from Denver watching that last play as it happened live? Oh, you got to clip this and show this.
No. Oh, geez. Gordon.
Christian Brown gets that rebound. He's racing up the right side, and he makes the right play, finds Westbrook right at the midcourt line, right? And the Denver announcer or these guys watching that from the desk in the studio show are like, no. As soon as Westbrook gets the ball, and they're watching it in real time. And then to your point, Big Cat, Westbrook doesn't do what we've seen him do 100 times. He makes the beautiful pass. And this guy is one of the great passers of his generation. Finds Aaron Gordon on the exact opposite side of the court. The defense is turned around, gives Aaron enough time to knock down one of the biggest shots of the Nuggets postseason, maybe not even the biggest one, but just a remarkable play. But I thought it captured that exact transformation of Westbrook when he plays within the guardrails, guys. He is a phenomenal bench player. But there is a roller coaster you sign up for when you have him on your team.
Yes, it's very fun to watch him from afar. We should do a Mount Rushmore, by the way, this summer of the Mount Rushmore of guys that you love to watch but hate having on your team.
Or just the no yes guys.
Yeah,
where it's just whenever something happens, you're just like no. Oh yes, that's awesome.
One thing that we're really good at, Kirk, is after the first game of a series, we just say that what happened in that first game is going to keep happening. So we've been talking about how great the Nuggets are, and they do deserve a lot of credit for fighting back. But can we just pretend? Let's just pretend that Aaron Gordon's 3 didn't go in and the Thunder won.
If they just played defense and didn't foul.
Yeah, either way. Either way. So regardless of how they ended up winning by, let's say 2 points, what would we be saying about the Thunder, and would we be saying the Nuggets are going to have to make some adjustments if they want to stop them?
I would have still been a red flag with that game. The rebounding differential, Detroit coming in on fumes after a 7-game series, still coming in there. These young team just waiting around. The fact that in your hypothetical PFT, there's still been a very close game. I think I would have been surprised by that. They wouldn't have covered the spread. They had a shot to win. So I think it would have still looked bad. And again, they did not take it to the paint.
Right.
Shea needs to attack more. This dude was put on earth to drive the basketball and not settle for pull-ups. And I think he needs to be more aggressive and really attack the weakness of this Denver team. So I'm with you. It's a make or miss league. That shot could have gone either way and narratives would have changed. But Denver played pretty well last night, especially when you consider they were playing less than 48 hours before in a game 7 in a different state.
Yeah. I had it as a scheduled loss for the Nuggets, and I was way wrong because I was just, I mean, and that also is like the Thunder as a young team. I was actually weirdly more shocked by the Celtics not being able to put away the Knicks because like a young team, this will happen where it's like, hey, you're up 10 all game. Like the kill shot has to come because you just can't let teams hang around, especially like the Nuggets. And when the kill shot doesn't come, this is what you roll the dice of like, we could have a couple things go wrong in the last minute, and it's here we are down 0-1.
Yeah, and these are champions. The Denver Nuggets are champions. And like playing that fouling up 3 game, and I know you guys already talked about it, but one thing I haven't heard is like you got to make your free throws. You got to trust your young guys in these big moments. If you're going to play that game, Chet Holmgren, you better have a lot of faith in Chet Holmgren to make those 2. At least one of 2, and he missed both of them.
Yeah.
So, I think the coach, I keep zeroing in on the coach. He doesn't have enough playoff experience, Dagnall. I think he has some regrets about how he played out the end of that chess game last night. And they need to be better up and down the roster, but also on that coaching staff.
All right. Other series we got to talk about. I know we're taping this Tuesday afternoon around 3:00. So we don't know what happens game 2. Cavs Pacers though. I've been a big fan of the Pacers these playoffs because I just think they're very fun to watch. They have 5 guys. They have more than 5 guys, but they have everyone scores. I feel like they get open shots. Haliburton drives, creates so much space for everyone. Is there a chance the Pacers can win this series against the Cavs? And what is the fix that the Cavs have to do? Because it felt like the Pacers sped them up even more in game 1, and that made the Cavs pretty uncomfortable.
I thought when people thought this was going to be an easy series for the Cavs, they were out of their mind. Indiana made the semifinals last year, conference finals, and they're better this year. And Tyrese Haliburton is better. And I think Big Cat, Cleveland is the team that is banged up right now. Mm-hmm. Darius Garland is hurt. Evan Mobley is hurt. DeAndre Hunter dislocated his thumb. Like, this is not a good time. And I have a nominee for the 2025 Takeys, if you guys will accept an external nomination. The 3 days after the playoffs started, The Athletic released their annual player poll. Mm-hmm. And in this player poll, 90 anonymous NBA players were asked, who is the most overrated player in the NBA right now? Mm-hmm. And they said Tyrese Haliburton. And that take is aging very poorly, very poorly. They are 5-1 in the playoffs. He isolated Giannis Antetokounmpo multiple times in the deciding moments of that series and took him to the rack. He leads the playoffs in assists at 12, just 2 turnovers. His passes, when they find shooters, suddenly everybody turns into Klay Thompson because he's creating incredible looks for guys like Andrew Nembhard, Nesmith, Siakam, Miles Turner. He is just the best. He's like a Steve Nash level orchestrator right now. And like Steve Nash, the defense isn't great, hand up, but this dude isn't the most overrated player in the NBA. That is a terrible take. And in fact, I might go so far as to say he might be the most underrated player in these NBA playoffs.
I think he's a little goofy. And that's what, and like people, it's a weird thing, but like guys that smile too much, guys that maybe talk a little shit, but in a goofy way, people just don't like that. And his shooting numbers aren't like out of this world, but what he does passing the basketball is insane. And it's just, he's fun to watch. He can go by, I feel like he can go by anyone.
He's 25 and he's 3 wins away from bringing his team as clearly the best player on the team to the conference finals 2 years in a row. That's not normal. Like when Jason Tatum was doing that, we're like, oh my God, this guy's incredible. And he was. But if they win this series, and like I said, I think it's about a coin toss right now, in part because of the injuries in Cleveland, in part because of those injuries. And if they win this, look, Tyrese Haliburton deserves some flowers. He deserves some of those media cycles where we're like, he's 20, like the Luka Doncic stuff. Like when Luka was like, Tyrese is having this offense play very well. Yeah. And I think Cleveland should be a little bit worried. If any of the teams that lost game 1 should be pretty worried, I think it's Cleveland.
And if they win the series, they should let his dad back. Banning him for the entire postseason, that's too much. Like a 2-game ban, I get it. Maybe all the home games this round, I get that. But are you telling me if you get to the NBA Finals, you're not going to let his dad back in the arena?
Could they like put him in a straitjacket or something?
Yeah.
Like tie him to a chair?
Yeah, and then also the one knock I'll have against Tyrese Haliburton is that he didn't have his dad's back enough. Yeah. I know that you had to say like, yeah, okay, Dad, you shouldn't do that, blah, 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 blah. But I would have liked to see the guy stand up for his dad a little bit.
My pops was wrong. He said that.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, I think he handled that about as well as possible. That's a pretty awkward situation.
Very awkward.
Yeah. Like also his dad was wildly inappropriate.
Agreed.
Like your son just won. It reminded me when Angel Reese did this, and I don't want to get political, PFT. When Angel Reese won the national title and her first instinct is to talk trash to Caleb. Like, go hug your teammates, dude.
Right.
Like,
you're making the story about something else. Like the
your
dad
son just
stole the story of the first round, their win by going on the court and being crazy.
Oh, I agree entirely. I think it was like way, way out of line. It would just would have been cool to see Tyrese be like, yeah, that's my dad though. I can't say anything bad about my dad.
Yeah, I see that. You're a real patriarchy guy. I see that.
I am. George Bush invaded Iraq because of his dad.
That's true.
He loved Haliburton.
That's fact.
Look it up.
That's all facts.
So
next up on Pardon My Freud.
I think you're what? You have a perfect record in terms of picking NBA champions on this show, right?
Yeah, I don't like to do victory laps like Schrager. I think he's done this. But I picked the NBA Finals correctly for as long as I can remember, PFT, on your show.
Okay, so who do you have right now?
I'm sticking with the Boston Celtics. Bing bong, Hanky. I still support the Celtics, and I'm sticking with the Thunder. And I'm a little bit nervous today. It was a safe pick all year, and you know what? I'm happy to be nervous. PFT, I'm happy to be nervous because it was like I didn't want both of these teams to just plow through the bracket and end up there. And now there's some adversity for both of these teams for game 2. But dude, these teams both deserve credit. Boston is just the most dominant team when they're healthy, and they are healthy right now. Drew's back, and then OKC. I mean, they won 68 games. What can you say? Like, it's a juggernaut, best defense we've seen in a while.
All right, so
love the hat, by the way, Kirk. Looks great.
Hank just chimed in. He said he loves that.
Bing bong, baby.
Yeah. All right, so off of that, I got one last question, the rowback question. Actually, we got to talk about your Atlas balls too. Rowback question: RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. You should go right now and buy. Perfect for Father's Day or Mother's Day. TheGoldenHexagon.com. You made an Atlas basketball, which is pretty damn sick. So what is on this?
It's a spherical map of the world, and this is the first edition. I sent one to PFT for his birthday. But
thanks
it's
for sending it for mine too.
Well, to be fair, our birthdays are pretty far apart.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But this is the first edition, and the breaking news that I'm happy to announce: this is the Atlas ball. The Kyrie ball is coming now. So I have made one as a tribute to Kyrie Irving, a Globe basketball.
Yeah.
For a sort of a get well soon sentiment to one of the great point guards. But Kyrie's a big fan of spherical geography, and so am I. And what better way to celebrate that as a basketball lover than a decoration for your office, Big Cat, that is actually a basketball and a globe at the same time. You can have the whole wide world in your hands.
I love it.
It is really cool. I've got it in my office at home. It's also a good Father's Day present. If you're looking to get something for Dad, I feel like that's a
or birthday present.
Yeah,
if you were looking to get it for someone's birthday
or a Mother's Day present.
Yeah,
that's true. You brought up Wilt earlier today. Do you think that Wilt actually scored 100 points in a game?
Wait, 10,000 or 100? Which record is most untouchable?
The 100. I'd say the 100 point. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think there would have been a lot of truthers coming out of the woodwork if he hadn't. Guys who were playing in the game, for instance, his opponents. Like I was talking to Chris Bosh and Matt Bonner a few weeks ago about when Kobe scored 81. That's like a great story for them to tell because they were on the Raptors. And, it's kind of a cool story. It's humiliating at the time, but I think those guys would have been like, yo, this wasn't true. I don't think there was a bunch of fake news on that one.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those stories that it's fun to pretend that it's not true, but it's probably very true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Did Kobe score 81 though, PFT? What do you think about that?
I don't know. It was in standard definition.
Yeah.
So it could have been the clone. Could have been somebody else.
HD still.
Was it?
Yeah,
what year was that?
2011. 11,
clone.
12.
My TV was standard.
All right, so my last question. So Celtics Thunder is your finals. Tell me what would have to happen for all the other teams. Like, it could be one line. Could be as easy as like, hey, Jokic is just Jokic. But what would have to happen if we're sitting here 2 months from now and we've just crowned one of the other 6 teams that are not the Thunder or Celtics as champions?
Yeah, I think it would have to start in the West with what you brought up earlier. Somebody not stepping up for the Thunder, like J-Dub or Chet. And Chet looked like he shrank in the moment. I'm not going to hold it against one game, but that did not look good with those free throws in that moment. So if they continue to get like sort of big misses from their supporting cast, like I could totally see the West, which is so brutal and so unforgiving. You can't have a lot of flaws on your roster and win the Western Conference in this league. So I think, OKC's supporting cast needs to fail them. And I'll leave that on the table. I don't think that will happen. But then in the East, we saw it a little bit there too. Like the Celtics need to break down with the 3-point shot. They need to not have the diversity in offense and find solutions. Ultimately, I think Boston has a much easier path to the finals than OKC. If I did pick one of these teams to not get there, it would be OKC at this point.
And who would be next up in the West if it wasn't OKC? Timberwolves are. I don't know.
Right.
All those teams look good.
Yeah, I think Denver and Minnesota, who have history, are both looking good. And obviously Golden State, who's won the Western Conference, I think 6 of the last 10 times. Like there's just some big players on that side of the bracket. But just for the sake of the take, I'm going to take Jokic. I mean, dude.
Yeah.
He had one of the best seasons we've ever seen. He was incredible down the stretch last night in a game that will always be remembered for Aaron Gordon's incredible shot. Jokic scored 18 points in the fourth quarter and was the best player on both ends of the court, getting every rebound. And if he keeps that up, dude, you could see that this league has seen big men run through the playoffs for decades. So I could see a path where he sort of throws back to the future and it's just a dominant big man dragging his team through the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Would love that.
Yeah, that would be very fun.
Who do you think? A Big Cat, I know you're a big hoops guy. You haven't had any of your takes. Where's your bet at right now?
I do agree that the Celtics are going to be in the finals from the East because I just think they're better. Listen, I've been talking up the Pacers. They're dangerous, but yeah, I think the Celtics will be there. And then, oh man, I keep going back to. All right, tell me this: is it crazy? It feels like I really like the Timberwolves. Is my short answer. My concern is it does feel like whenever the Warriors and Rudy Gobert go up against each other, Steph Curry's found a way to play him off the court in a way where it's like you get a lot of switches and you can't guard Steph in space. Is that a real concern for the Timberwolves? Like what, or is it because the Warriors don't have as many guys now, it's not as much of a concern? The Timberwolves can counteract that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think Chris Finch has found ways to keep Rudy in games and get away with drop coverage in places that some of the other teams haven't, that Rudy's been on. But yeah, I think it's also fair to say, like you said, this is not the 2022 Warriors or the 2017 Warriors. This is not Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry in their primes. Like Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton. This is not exactly the 27 Yankees of jump shooting, like we saw from this other previous Warriors era. So I have the Timberwolves winning this series simply because the offensive depth isn't good enough to outscore the Timberwolves, but I also don't think they'll be able to play Gobert off the court like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess my pick would then be the Timberwolves.
Yeah, and it would be really cool. Like last time I was on here, we were talking about how American superstars are washed, and we need to put tariffs on international basketball players. And I think Anthony Edwards could make America great again as a basketball player.
Yes, he could. He absolutely could. All right, Kirk, you're the best, man. We appreciate you as always. And everyone go buy a Father's Day gift or a Mother's Day gift at thegoldenhexagon.com.
Podcaster's gift. Yeah. It is a very cool globe.
Hank, Barcelona
it still
just scored.
says Gulf of Mexico, so the updated version will have to change that. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Kirk Goldsberry is brought to you by McDonald's, our delicious, great friends at McDonald's. McDonald's and their all-new McCrispy Strips. McCrispy Strips are here. It's the chicken that's made for dipping. Tender, juicy white meat chicken with a golden brown peppery breading. This chicken's so good, it deserves its own sauce. That's the creamy chili McCrispy. It is an elite sauce, and these are great strips. We brought them in for an ad the other day. Had to take a bite of it. Took my bite, finished the ad. Then Memes was like, hey, I can go ahead and take these McCrispy strips away from you now. I said, no, Memes. I want to finish them. They're delicious. And that sauce also pairs well with just about anything else on the menu. And you can dip the McCrispy strips in any of the McDonald's other sauces, and it's all good. New McCrispy strips with a creamy chili McCrispy strip dip. It's chicken made for dipping, and it's only at McDonald's. Kirk Goldsberry was also brought to you by Nutrafol. To be honest, going to the barber can be a hassle. I love talking to the guy, but it's another errand to run after a long week. But the upside is I still have enough hair to need a cut. If you want to keep the hair you have and see thicker, fuller hair, Nutrafol Men has you covered. Tibbs. Maybe get Tibbs on some Nutrafol. Start going back to the barber. You may have heard of Nutrafol's hair growth supplements and wondered, do they actually work? It's a fair question. Many hair supplements overpromise and underdeliver, but Nutrafol is different. It's the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. It's trusted by over 1.5 million people, and it's clinically tested to deliver real results in just 3 to 6 months. Nutrafol Men is clinically proven to improve hair growth and hair quality. Plus, men also reported no impact to sexual performance. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code PARDON. That's Nutrafol.com. Nutrafol, and enter promo code PARDON.
Okay, let's finish up the show. Jerry, he just called me.
Hey, you were calling me. What? Everything okay?
Yeah, Hank's ear popped.
You're kidding me.
So it wasn't your yelling.
What? I gotta tell you, I felt bad, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank was playing the victim.
I hung up the phone, and I'm sorry to use rude words, but I was like, what a fucking pussy. Like, I never screamed in his ear. And then I was like, oh, God, maybe I did, like, hurt his ear. Maybe he's got delicate ears. It fucking popped. I knew it.
Yeah.
What a chicken shit.
Yeah. He's sitting right here.
I'm sorry, Hank. Like, for you to blame me because you don't use a fucking ear cone, or put a Q-tip in there once every now and again.
Facts. All right, that was it, Jerry. Just want to let you know you're off the hook.
Jerry, I had a question for you. I know that Max wouldn't apologize to you for flipping out about the White House thing. Do you think that Hank owes you an apology?
Does Hank owe you an apology?
No, nobody owes me an apology. I love how Max from Hawaii is trying to jump in on this thing, and it's like, dude, no, stop. Well, go on your vacation.
Yeah, get out of our business. Yeah, exactly.
Last night on X, he was hitting me with notifications, and I was like, dude, you gotta jump into the fire. Like, get out of here, dude. You're in Hawaii. Go to a luau or something, man.
Yeah. All right, Jerry. Thanks for all you do.
One more thing. Little scary fucking hitting send on those tweets to the old boss.
Yeah. But hey,
I was a little scared.
You hit it with the thanks for all that you do. Really kind of, you can't get mad about that.
A little scary.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know. What's Mr. Bing Bong bring something out in me? I don't even know. I just walking with a confidence. I was just in the supermarket and just walk through there with like confidence, Mr. Bing Bong.
Yeah. I love it.
All right, great.
All right, Jerry, we'll talk to you later.
I'm glad your hearing's back, bro. That's awesome.
Thanks. You did yell in my ear, but that's all right.
All right. See you, Jerry. Bye. Bye. All right, FAQs. So you want to apologize to him?
No, fuck no.
You know what, though?
If he admitted he yelled in my ear, I would consider it, but if he's going to lie, I'm not
called you a
apologize.
pussy.
Low-key kind of credit to Hank for admitting that his hearing's back.
Yeah.
And that it was just the plane that set it up, because Hank probably...
Oh, my God.
They scored?
Inter just scored. Now they're going to park the bus. But yeah, credit to Hank, because he could have just played this along and said, yeah, my hearing's still gone. And then that way he doesn't have to listen to anything that we tell him. But instead he raised his hand and said, hey, you know what? I'm okay now. So thank you for that, Hank.
Hank is in a bad spot right now. How do you not win this game when you're up? When did Inter score their last goal?
2 minutes left. Overtime or whatever the fuck.
Extra time.
Added time.
All right.
You just fucking live and die with the team all year for them to do this.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's tough.
I'm sorry.
Tortured fan base. Barcelona. Prayers up.
Hey, Big Cat, Patrick, Max, memes, and the guy reading this.
Hank, can you start over with a little bit more zest?
No. A lot of athletes have pregame routines or meals before performing on the big stage. With you guys running the best national sports podcast, I was wondering if there are any pre-podcast routines or snacks you have before airing the podcast. Today is the day, memes. That lottery ball is yours. Memes did win the lottery ball. Kind of.
When?
Yeah, I mean, the Islanders. He didn't do it. The Islanders did. The team he roots for did.
Do they use balls for that?
It was
Yes.
a whole, yeah. What was the question again?
Do you guys
Pre-game
have
routine.
Pre-game routines or snacks?
Yeah, I mean, on Sundays, I would say we probably do.
Yeah, food. Meme sends the food ? Text around 5 o'clock. That's kind of like it's like the old, like it's the bell for everyone to go to the town square.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, get to the office. Meme sent the food ? Text.
The podcast is nigh.
Yeah, we're on the precipice of podcasting.
I like that Big Cat slap my face like John Henderson in the locker room before a game.
Yeah.
Really get the blood going.
Usually we just kind of figure out what kind of mood Hank's in before, so we can.
I mean, the real answer is me and Big Cat like to pick somebody to gang up on.
Yeah, it's usually Hank because he's sitting right here.
Yeah. Or just get riffing on somebody. Just really lay into them.
It's almost like we're doing the tennis, volleying back and forth, warming up. We're just doing that on someone's face.
Yeah. Right on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Hank. I know this is a big bet.
It's more just part,
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Barcelona. How could
care
you?
about the bet.
Barcelona.
Are there any questions you really wanted to ask a certain guest that you haven't gotten the chance to ask yet?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Now they're just flopping.
Like any recurring guests that we've had on that we didn't ask the big question to?
What memes? You got one?
No, you guys have to have some regret. No.
I know. I'm just trying to think it on the fly.
Like a specific guest that we've had that we've really been like, oh, fuck, we blew it by not asking this person.
Probably should have asked Karl Malone what happened with all that stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That one probably.
That was a basketball decision.
I'm trying to think though. Is there one where I've walked away been like, damn, I wish I'd asked that. Like, damn, we fucking missed that question.
I don't know, man.
Can you guys think of one, Hank? Memes?
Memes probably would be able to think of one before us because
usually
he's probably like, man, they fucking blew it.
Dance around almost. I mean, there's obvious, like, if someone has something that, like a crime they committed when they were a kid or something, like, we're not going to bring it up and embarrass them. You know what I mean? Like, there's not shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Like if like there was some kid that was outside and they got into a fight with him and then there's a whole hate crime section of the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
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 Somebody like that.
Wait, who is that again?
It's not you. Oh, wait.
Oh.
It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you.
Wait a second. Who is that? Yeah, okay, so there's some hey, listen, we're not journalists. I'll be the first to admit there are definitely times we've done interviews where people are like, how did you not ask that? How did you not ask that? Dude, we're trying to fucking just have a good time. Sorry. If you want journalism, go listen to The Daily.
Hand up. We didn't ask Fauci about the Wuhan lab.
Yeah, we should have. We should have snuffed that one out.
Yep, that's on us. Bad instincts.
Big mistake. Big mistake. All right. Hank, it's dead. They're going to park the bus. It means they're going to put every player in front of the goal, and there's no chance they're going to score.
Why didn't we do that?
Well, because we weren't winning.
We were winning.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, we're winning.
Last one.
Oh, no.
Can we find out a little more about how Max, Meme, Shane, and Pug got involved with the podcast and how Big Cat and PFT's first interactions with them were?
Okay.
So with Max came on after Bubba, post Bubba.
He worked in the office for what, a year or two?
Yeah,
For years. I was technically his boss. He worked on stool streams and other stuff with me.
I did know that Max was the two things I knew about Max before because I don't think we really interacted much, was that Philly and he had a rivalry with Hank. Like, swear to God, I knew that Hank and him they had a playful thing with each other.
I was technically his boss, but obviously I think it was like even the confetti, when the Sixers confetti thing happened, and like I would go up to his desk and basically do what we do on the show, and he would still, after some prodding, would just eventually stand up, start screaming at me, and storm away.
Yeah.
I would do a show once a week with him with the Hard Factor guys, and the only thing I really picked up about Max was he really likes to touch his testicles a lot when he's nervous. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "What's up with this? Why is he always grabbing at his balls?" Because it was like every week. And I'm glad to see that he hasn't stopped with that. I also love the fact that he's not here to defend himself, but he would probably admit to that.
Yeah, he absolutely admit to that. Memes tweeted us so many times that we had to hire him because we were like, this guy might kill us.
No,
Memes did a great job.
The PMT Memes account was great. I just remember DMing him, asking where he lived, and then just praying. I don't even know if it's legal to ask, but I was like, how old are you?
Yeah.
And I was like, if he's older.
Oh, wow.
If he's
that is
older
a
than
weird
me,
DM.
that's a problem.
Yeah, no, Memes.
Is that what you led with?
No, I was like, where do you live? He's like, Long Island. And then I was like, how old are you, I think? Do you want an internship?
Yeah, Memes is a good test case of like a lot of people obviously would love to work at Barstool and be involved in this and will be like, oh, I want to work here. Like, here's my resume. Or, oh, I want to work here. Watch me tweet like a few things like every couple weeks. Memes was just committed to the game. You could see his work ethic from day one. Shane and Pug, I think a stork dropped him off. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, Shane's AI.
Shane just was here one day. Love him. You see my Pope bobblehead?
Pope bobblehead.
See my Pope bobblehead, Shane? It's fucking sick. Wait. Oh.
It's a great bobblehead.
It's a great bobblehead. Yeah, I don't remember like
They're just like traditional.
Yeah, they were traditional hires. So it was just like one day they were here. It's like, oh, cool. Nice. And that was it.
Do you remember your first interaction with everybody?
With Shane,
No.
I think I heard a rumor that he had never had McDonald's before. And so I asked him about that. I was like, what was it like having your first McDonald's? Must have blown your mind. Like your first tomato.
I think you're just sitting in the studio and I introduced myself to you.
Yeah, I don't remember. Do you remember?
I do. It was you guys were recording the Thanksgiving episode of Advisors, I think. And Hank brought me in just like show me around and I introduced myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Pug?
Yeah, I was just like normal hire, and I think I walked in the studio nervous as fuck, introduced myself.
And that was it.
Yeah, now we're cool.
Yeah.
Pug.
And then Jack, I'm still waiting to meet Jack because he's like over 1,000 on introductions to me. So we're waiting for our first formal introduction.
You're still waiting to meet me?
Yeah. You just whiffed every time. So we're gonna try to do that.
Yeah. We can plan for it in the future.
I like you, Jack. Jack Wiper.
Wipe.
It was just that one time when Jack said, "What did you say to me?" It was uncomfortable. It was just like, "How's your morning going?" At like 11 a.m.
I think it was at like 9:30.
No, it was a little later than that, and it also was weird to be like, "Just how's your morning going?" I was like, "What did you just do, dude?" It was very like corporate America.
Nice guy.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
you're a nice guy. What, Jack? Real quick, Sharon Moore self-imposed 2-game penalty. Suspension, and then also your president left. Is this weird to you?
It's a little weird.
Okay.
Do you have a president right now?
No, we don't. We might have an interim, but
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
seems like everyone's kind of running away. Jesus Christ. Would that be fair to say?
yeah,
What are they running away from?
beats me.
Okay.
Okay.
You didn't see anything.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That's our Michigan man, Jack. All right. Good show, boys. No, Max isn't back till Sunday. What has he been doing in Hawaii?
Tweeting at us.
He misses us so
He
much
does.
more than we miss.
He feels like he's got big time FOMO.
Big time. Okay. Numbers.
3. That was a long pause, memes.
I didn't even go for it there.
13.
What was the last number you guessed, Memes?
44.
44.
13 is what the Islanders got. So, open. We go twofer.
Okay.
99 Pug.
5.
What's wrong, Hank?
58.
Bartha?
We had it.
We did. Bartha.
13.
Fuck.
21.
Jack, did you say something? Did you say your number?
58.
Hank, are you going to say a number? Or are you...
I said 5.
You said 5.
Oh, man, he's so down.
Hank, come on, man. 13. It'll be okay.
13. On 13.
7.
Love you guys.
One day.